High school football is on the air this evening live from Harry Geldine Stadium at Casper Kelly Walsh High School. It will be the Trojans playing host to the Cheyenne Central Indians. High school football on 1480 KRAE is being brought to you by our fine sports sponsors. Now let's send it to the Oil City and Casper Kelly Walsh High School and Harry Geldine Stadium as the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans will take on the Cheyenne Central Indians. Before the opening kickoff, let's check in with our pregame show right here on 1480 KRAE.
And a welcome
Cheyenne.
from the Oil City, Larry Proietti, along with Sonny Boy Nick Proietti, as we are here to bring you Cheyenne Central football as they will match up with the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans on a evening, Nick, that it's the storms are staying away, but kind of circling around ever since we've been up here. They're more to the west, and this field is a northwest, southeast type of field, but more to the west, it's a little dark.
Yeah, these field set up here at Casper Kelly Walsh is more of a southwest to northeast kind of at least situation as where we're facing here in the press box. But as we see these storms, it just kind of at least circling around the Casper area. Again, winds have been at least pretty much consistent around, I do believe, about 20 miles per hour. Again, gusts getting up from what we've heard about 40, 50. So winds at least kind of following that same path of going from at least the southeast and north, at least southwest and northeast here at Casper Kelly Walsh. So we'll see. Again, there are chances of thunderstorms, but again, we'll see if these storms at least kind of bypass the Casper area.
Well, we saw Tegan Tippett here during warm-ups kicking from the 50-yard line. That's a 60-yard field goal, and he had about 5 yards to spare.
Which is unheard of in the high school ranks, but again, it is that gusty right now on that football field that, yes, you were able to pull that off, and we'll see what this does for both teams. Again, we're going to see at least, obviously that coin flip is going to be crucial here to decide who's defending and who's receiving and all that fun stuff, who's going to take advantage of this win.
And the last two kickers I remember, and again, I've covered Cheyenne Central football for a long time, even before you were born, but we're talking a young man named McMines and a Miles Cumberpatch, that these guys had strong legs that they were hitting from 50-plus back in the day. Tonight's game on 1480 KRAE being brought to you by Kuzma Success Realty, Arrow Moving and Storage, B&B Appliance and TV, Baskin Robbins, Billy Alleman with the LCCC Flight Crew, the Bread Basket Bakery, Burns Insurance Company, Capital Lumber Company, Charles Schwab, Shine Auto Repair and Service, Chick-fil-A, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, First Education Federal Credit Union, Foot of the Rockies, Halliday Motors, High West Energy, Joe Ed Produce, Key of Cheyenne, LCCC, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, the Injury Prevention Program, and by First Tier Bank. As Casper Kelly Walsh will come on the field again with the homecoming festivities here tonight, as they are 1-4 in the season. They'll match up against 3-2 Cheyenne Central. The Indians currently on a 3-game winning streak, nudging their way in there amongst that top four that we've been talking about all season long. They now are trying to join that elite crew. Yeah, for Cheyenne Central at this point, again, that 3-2 mark in 3 straight, at least wins in a row, starting with Rock Springs, Gillette, and then the game we had last week there at Cheyenne Central, taking down Laramie Plainsman in easy fashion. But this team, according to wildpreps.com, number 5 ranked team in Class 4A, so they got a lot to prove here. Especially this is a game right before the big one coming up that we'll have as well on 1480 KRAE over at Okie Blanchard Sports Complex between East and Central, which is going to mean a lot towards that at least playoff seeding coming up again as we're winding down here in 2019 high school football. Thanks for joining us too on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, Periscope via Twitter, and again also on YouTube. We want to thank some more fine sponsors: MHP LLP, Lennox Auto Body, Little Philly, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Medicap Pharmacy, Meridian Trust, Federal Credit Union, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Page and Zach Lane at Number 1 Properties, Pepsi of Cheyenne with our Pepsi scoreboard, Platte Valley Bank, Taco John's, the Gill Window Company, and by the Wyoming Department of Transportation. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get into our pregame show. Got a special guest joining us on our Athletic Director's Report. We're going to go I-80 to the east, about 20 miles down the road. We're going to catch up with Barry Ward from Burns High School. We're going to talk with him. We also have Coach McKelkey from Casper Kelly Walsh. We'll also check in with Coach Apodaca, and we'll get you caught up on the Mountain West as well as the high school schedule. All to come on our pregame show after this, right here on 1480 KRAE.
College. It's filled with classrooms, instructors, and exams. But beyond that, it's filled with curiosity. budding friendships, insightful conversations, and so many opportunities. There will be people like you, and you, and you. You'll work, you'll play, you'll struggle, and you'll succeed. But when you allow yourself to pursue your dreams, you'll learn what you're truly made of.
Larry Proietti right now chatting with Laramie County School District number 2 Athletic Director at Burns High School. Barry Ward joined us on our pregame show. Barry, real quick, let's get into the text of our program here as we have you on. Unlike the Class 4A schools here in Laramie County School District number 1, South, East, and Central, the summer-fall sports calendar has less in the way of sports that are offered at this time for Laramie County School District number 2 and Burns, right?
Yep. We, we're a combined school, so we have junior high and high school sports going on at the same time. And so we offer cross country for both junior high and high school volleyball, and then, of course, junior high and high school football.
Now let's look at how tough it is to field all of these sports at any given time at Burns High.
Our numbers are pretty dang good for fall sports. We had so many volleyball players, high school volleyball players this year, that we felt it necessary to have some cuts, and so we ended up with 26 or 27 girls on the high school volleyball team. We have 41 football players, which is a really good number. And then we have 25 high school cross-country kids. We also have some kids that go into town, and we have some kids that golf at Cheyenne South, and also some kids that play tennis at Cheyenne South.
And talk about the kids that you draw from what area of Laramie County?
Basically, if you draw a line 40 miles around the town of Burns, they come from every direction. Most of our kids are commuters. There's not a ton of people that live in the town of Burns, obviously. I think less than 100. So most of our kids either drive here or come in on a bus.
It seems like for the bigger schools, the facilities get improved first. So how tough is it for the smaller schools to get any type of facility improvement, i.e. The football field or light scoreboard or even the placement of all-weather turf?
I think our school district has done a really good job in regards to our facilities. We're currently adding on to our school right now. We're adding 3 classrooms and a wrestling room. And unfortunately, the Facilities Commission didn't think that we needed that stuff. And so our district is paying for that money because it's considered an enhancement for that addition. And we've needed a wrestling room for quite some time. So 4 years ago, we got a new track. Our district opted not to put turf on it, but we still got a new grass field, new press box, new bleachers, and of course a new scoreboard. So we work pretty hard at it, and we thank our district for what they do for us.
Talking with all of our athletic directors here in Cheyenne, Mark Puev at South and Jerry Schlabs at East, and of course Chad Whitworth at Cheyenne Central. And we talk about all of the things, the monies, and most importantly, they got to do the scheduling, and the road trips always can be challenging. But all of that's got to be even tougher for our schools in Laramie County School District number 2, like Burns and Pine Bluff. I mean, this has got to be sometimes a nightmare for you.
Well, everybody, all the ADs in the state go to the state scheduling meeting, and so we're all in the same place at the same time. And as you know, we got bumped up a classification from 2A to 3A, which added 10,000 miles onto our sports travel for this last year and this year. But the ADs across the state of Wyoming are wonderful people, and there's times where we try to meet in the middle, so one team doesn't have to travel the whole way. It's not uncommon for us to play like Lovell, and we'll meet them at Casper and Trona or Kelly Walsh. But as far as filling a schedule, it's not that difficult. It's just the travel part that's hard.
Girls Fast Pitch was recently adopted by the Wyoming High School Activities Association, which concerns all three Cheyenne high schools. And again, Laramie County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees voted it in. Does this decision reach out to our student athletes that go to Burns High School?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there will be some kids that will want to play fast pitch softball, and, you know, we will do a combination school agreement with one of those schools in town, hopefully. Those guys are pretty accommodating when it comes to that stuff. And any time that you have a kid that opts to go to town for a sport, it obviously hurts a different program, you know, and I see it affecting our high school track program. But I think it's a good addition, and I think it was a long time coming.
You know, I've been in this area for 30-plus years, and in my travels across the Cowboy State, what is it with our smaller communities, such as Burns or even going down to Pine, good or bad season? I mean, it's the thing to do Friday night under the lights to be at the football game.
Absolutely. It's a social event, you know, and there's tailgate parties. There will be somebody that wants to sponsor one of those. And, you know, everybody loves their kids, and it's a social event. It's an opportunity for you to come and see your neighbors and support the kids and just have a good time.
I know I asked you earlier in our conversation about facilities and what have you, but I know that at your high school you always have needs and wants. Is there anything pressing for Burns High School today that you would like to get accomplished?
As far as our athletic facility goes, you know, we share our auxiliary gym is actually our elementary gym. It'd be nice to have another gym. You can never have too many of those. As far as our outdoor facility, I think it's beautiful. It's one of the best fields around. We really enjoy having our track. If I had one wish, I would really wish that we could build an auditorium to put all of our kids in to do things. Our gym, you know, it serves that purpose, but it would be nice if we had an auditorium.
That's Burns High School Athletic Director Barry Ward. We'll take a time out. We'll have more right here on 1480 KRAE. This weekend in the Mountain West Conference, first off, the Wyoming Cowboys draw the bye weekend. There will be 3 conference matchups. This evening from San Jose, California, the San Jose State Spartans will entertain the New Mexico Lobos. On tap for tomorrow, a morning game. It will be at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as LSU, number 4 in the nation, will host Utah State. The Air Force will take on the Navy at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Colorado State at Canvas Stadium in Fort Collins will entertain San Diego State, and number 16 Boise State will travel to Las Vegas to take on the UNLV Rebels at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. Stay tuned. More of our pregame show coming up right here on 1480 KRAE. Well, once again, it's our extreme pleasure to talk with Casper Kelly Walsh head coach, first-year head coach, Aaron McKelkey. Coach, since the last time we had you on our broadcast, you picked up a nice win against Cheyenne South where everything, the X's and O's all came together for you. Stumbled a little bit against Rock Springs offensively, but last weekend against the Sheridan Broncs, at least for the first 24 minutes, your ball club went toe-to-toe with one of the top 4 teams in the conference.
Yeah, and honestly, we played better in that game than we did against South. We got the win against South, but in terms of execution and being clean and focused on things, it was a pretty sloppy game. So I thought we played a lot better against Sheridan. They're just tough competition, and they played better than us and kind of got after us in the third quarter. But yeah, we jumped ahead to start the game, and I think that gave our kids a little jolt, and we had some great energy, and our focus and execution was a lot better in that game than it's been all season.
Now, the last time that we had you against Cheyenne South, you made a change at the quarterback position. So tell us a little bit with your option offense, is it still running under that direction of Spillane?
Not last week. Last week was Trent Walker, number 12, another junior quarterback. We've just been having those guys battle it out in practice, and based on how they do Monday through Thursday and their preparation, that's dictated who has started and played most of the game. Rock Springs was kind of 50-50, depending on the package that we were in. But in terms of the scheme hasn't changed. We ran the ball a little more and a little more effectively last week. Against Rock Springs, there was some stuff in the passing game that was there. We just did a very poor job of executing it and didn't have our kids ready to complete some of those passes. So we just kind of went back to the basics last week and pounded the ball a little bit more with Trent at quarterback.
You look at your schedule, and obviously, again, coaches playing one game at a time, and you got 4 remaining. It looks like, Coach, you need one more possibly to get into the Class 4A playoffs. So, again, how do you approach every game as must-wins?
Well, you only get to play one at a time, so you can only look at it week to week. And it's all about what you do in that week, and they all weigh the same, whether they're a top team, a bottom team, a rival, or somebody you don't know anything about. They all count the same because they're all conference games. So, there's no such thing as must win because they're all the same. But it is a huge game. It's homecoming for us. We haven't played well at home yet. I would say if we had 2 decent performances, they were both on the road. So I think our kids will have a little extra energy and enthusiasm. We do know that we're playing a very well-coached and disciplined, athletic, explosive Cheyenne Central team. I don't put a lot of stock in those rankings, but I would guess that those guys are ranked. If they're not, they should be. So they're a tough opponent. We're going to have to come out firing on all cylinders. So I just don't like the term must win, because then when you tell your kids when you don't, because if you're a competitor, a game is a game. It doesn't matter who you play, whether it's, a varsity football game or it's tiddlywinks. If you're a competitor, you're going to lay it on the line. So that's our approach to it.
I had the opportunity to cover Cheyenne Central against Laramie last Friday night and talk about a complete effort on the offensive side. And I guess, from you and your coaching staff standpoint, boy, this team does pose a lot of nightmares, especially with that passing game.
Yeah, definitely. Their short passing game is as good as anybody that we'll probably see all year. A lot of timing-based stuff. They're reading some guys. They're very good at what they do. So it's a huge challenge, and we've had some games where we struggled in the secondary. Cheyenne East really got after us. We didn't play well. We were missing some guys in the secondary. We still have a few that are kind of questionable guys. 2 of our 4 guys in the secondary, we're not sure if they're going to be playing Friday night. But regardless of who it is, the guys we put out there are going to have a huge challenge. And I think they're very good at, no matter how you line up, Central does a great job of finding matchups and kind of getting what they're trying to get out of their passing game by moving you around in different formations. They also use a lot of motion to try and get guys matched up where they think they can exploit a one-on-one. They're as good as anybody at that. So no matter who we put out there, that's going to be a huge challenge for us on Friday night.
Coach, as we get to this portion of the season, as we come now into the second half of the season, the injury bug usually rears its ugly head, but like you said, you're trying to get kids healthy enough to play. Are you going through that injury portion of the program right now, or is your team about as healthy as it can get?
We're actually healthier this week than we were last. We had a guy, he just missed a week with, it's been a recurring knee injury. It was a weight room thing back in the spring. In fact, all of our injuries we've really had have been kind of pre-existing ones that we inherited. We haven't had a concussion on the varsity level yet. Young guys have had some dings here and there, but our older guys, we've done a pretty good job of keeping them healthy, and we do some different things philosophically than they've done in the past. And I know some old school people have questioned that, but I'm a huge believer that if you're getting your own guys hurt Monday through Thursday, you control that as a program and as a coach, and that's the worst thing you can do is beat up your guys Monday through Thursday. So we're pretty dang healthy. I mean, the worst thing we have right now on the varsity level that's from the season is a sprained ankle from 2 weeks ago, and he's questionable. I don't know if he'll play or not. And then we have a guy, he's torn his left ACL 3 times, and that was done in July, and so we're just trying to brace it and play and see if he can go. But those are the type of injuries we have, So we're as healthy as we've ever been actually on the varsity level, and that's huge because when you're already struggling, if you're missing guys, and you got to dip down into the younger guys at this point in the season when we're playing Sheridan, Central, NC, and Thunder in a 4-week stretch, that's a recipe for getting whooped up on and putting guys out there that probably aren't ready to be there yet. So I think we're as healthy as we've ever been, and from what I can see from Central, they're doing the same thing. I don't see many guys out, and last week it didn't look like on film they had anybody get hurt.
That's Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans head coach Aaron McKelkey. We will take a timeout. We'll be back with more right here on 1480 KRAE. Right now we're talking with Cheyenne Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca as the Indians prepare for Casper Kelly Walsh. Coach, first off, let's talk about the attitude of the team, the mood of the team right now, especially when you get into the practice situations. Teams on a 3-game winning streak, they must be feeling really good about themselves right now.
It's ironic that you asked that question because we talked about this week, and definitely the energy and the vibe in the program right now, in this short time is the best we've seen it. I think that they understand that, that they do have something, special and to ride with it, and that these things don't always happen, as evidenced by our last few years. So definitely feel the energy and excited about that. And, I feel like the kids feel like that they've got something to play heading into October, and that's a great place to be.
When you were hired on, you wanted to bring back that winning tradition to Cheyenne Central because you've had a taste of that winning tradition. Is that starting now to spill over to these guys?
I think so. Last week, we had actually kind of that, there was a reunion of kind of that, whatever it was, 88, 89, 90 group last week. And and we have those guys come and talk to our kids. And obviously a lot of guys that not only accomplish great things here at Central, but are accomplishing great things out in the real world. So it's good for our kids to hear, stories from them of, when they were in this locker room, and and bring that pride back into it.
As you get ready for Casper, Kelly Walsh, and again, every game could be an ambush game. So, you can't take a team that right now is 1-4 lightly, especially when you got to go to their place.
No, and this is a really good team. And, any offense you're putting in always has its nuances and take time. But I think the option might be, one of the hardest offenses to install. And, so much of it's timing-based and understanding that it takes a little bit of time, and getting these guys into week 6 where they're it shows on film they're starting to identify who they are, and running that offense a little clean. They're extremely dangerous, and by no means, and we talked to the kids about that. I mean, we definitely, I won't let them put the cart before the horse here. I mean, we want to own where we're at, but at the same time, we still got a big hill to climb, and so I think they're focused, and and hope to see them make the same progression they have over the last 3 weeks.
You look at your skill positions, and I'm talking about like Carter at the running back, and of course you have that great stable of receivers, and those guys are always going to get the headlines along with Dawson. But let's talk about the Hosses up front there. This is a young line. It's not a veteran line by any stretch of the imagination, but are you excited as a coaching staff how this group is starting to gel together, and again giving Dawson plenty of time to throw and also opening up big holes for Carter?
Yeah, absolutely. They're a group that we felt like at the end of the year that the potential was there, and in all honesty, it probably took us a couple of weeks to get going, where we had hoped that maybe that wouldn't happen, but it did, and they are gelling. They're healthy, and maybe more importantly, they really own the offensive line. And in today's day and age, man, it's that instant gratification. I mean, that's a position that's never going to happen. And so for a group of young men to really own just their piece of the puzzle has been fun to watch, and we are looking for good things in the future for them. Both the remaining of this year and next year.
We've always talked about the Big Four, and again, it will be Thunder Basin, East, and Sheridan, along with Natrona, where they reload. As you look back to the beginning of the season, and you knew what you had coming back, and you knew what you were going to develop this year, but did you have that feeling inside, that gut feeling, Coach, that you were going to be rubbing shoulders with that top 4 here midway through the season?
Yeah, I did. I don't apologize for having that feeling. I mean, I think I've been around the game long enough, and more importantly, got a taste of what this conference was like last year, and knowing what we had back, that I felt like if we had good off-season work and kids bought into and not the system in terms of the X and O's, but kind of what it takes, and they have, and trusting each other and their coaches. I thought that we could be in the mix for it, and so much of that is staying healthy and all that. And for the most part, we have. Our depth is very light, and so it's important for a lot of things to fall into place. And I think we're trending in the right way, and the confidence these kids have gotten over the last few weeks, I think is part of that.
And final thought for me, and I look back against that Laramie game, a near perfect performance by your offense. And again, I'll throw out on the defensive side there, Tanner Bullock was a one-man wrecking crew, so to speak, on your defensive side. But aside from injuries and little mishaps that could happen with your team, what does your team still need, in your opinion, Coach? What does your team still need to do to improve, to even get better each and every time out?
I think one thing that's a little, obviously seems to always be underrated, but is so important, is our special team game has improved, but it's a little erratic. I think, we're getting some kids back that I think can help that in a kicking game sort of thing. But I think we got to clean that up and make sure that our we're giving our defense, for instance, good field position to work with and not backing them up. So I think that's one thing. I think defensively we've done a heck of a better job the last couple of weeks in giving up those, third and long type of plays that seem to
that kind of haunted us the first 3 weeks in that sort of thing. And then, offensively, I think, really what is really important for this offense is just to own their ability, and that it's fun and embrace what they have going. I think it's important not to lose that and take it for granted. And I think if those three things and those three phases can get done, I think this group will have a good chance to be competitive, throughout the month of October.
Cheyenne Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We're back after this timeout. Well, let's check in now with our high school weekly schedule on tap for this evening. In addition to our game here at Harry Gelding Stadium, Cheyenne Central and Casper Kelly Walsh, it will be the Campbell County Camels on the road. They will face the Rock Springs Tigers. The East High Thunderbirds will be in Laramie to take on the Plainsmen. The South High Fighting Bison, they make the long road trip to Sheridan to take on the Bronx. And the marquee matchup for the weekend will be Casper Natrona. They're on the road at Thunder Basin to take on the Bolts in Gillette. Stay tuned. Our pregame show continues with our starting lineups after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
And we welcome you back to Harry Gelding Stadium. Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti as they're now officially retiring the colors after a wonderful rendition of our national anthem. 62 degrees right now as we're getting ready to kick off. We do have some sunshine. We do have cloud cover all around. As a matter of fact, on the west side, looking pretty dark over there. But again, we are looking at a very windy night for football action here from Harry Gelding Stadium. Matter of fact, this is the one of two stadiums left in Class 4A that is all natural turf.
Or at least the easy way to say it is just it's a grass field out there for Casper Kelly Walsh. So again, as we are still at least again waiting for the honor guard to get at least again clear the field here and get underway with this contest. But
Central won the toss and they have elected to receive. They will have their first quarter will be into a very stiff wind. And for the Indians, this is the way they're going to line up on the offensive line. The right tackle will be Mark Martinez. He's 6 foot 192 and a junior. On the left side will be Aiden Miller. He's 6'1", 180 and a junior. In the middle will be Jimmy Koenig. He's 5'11", 236 and a junior. Again, it's a young offensive line, but again, starting to play like veterans. All right, guard will be Joey Kostelecki. He's 5'11", 180 and a junior. And the other junior on the left side will be T.J. Wilson. He's 5'10", 240. Your quarterback is Dawson McCleary. He's 6'2", 180 pounds and a senior, ranked number 3 in Class 4A in passing. He's got a lot of weapons to throw to. On one wideout, it will be the sophomore Nathaniel Talich. He's 6'2", 156 pounds. Also on the other side will be Andrew Johnson, who's going to be wearing a different number tonight, as we were informed. He's wearing number 14 instead of his traditional number 9. He's 6 foot 155 and a junior. Your double tight ends, and again, they will either wide out or they'll also be flanked out. First, you have the Storbo twins. You have 6 foot 5, 234 junior Brady Storbo, and he's joined by 6 foot 5, 234 pounder Brock Storbo. The head coach is Mike Apodaca in his second season, as he'll be going up against first-year head coach here at Casper Kelly Walsh. As we had a chance to talk with him earlier for the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. Again, we're talking about their new head man here.
That'd be one coach
Aaron McKelkey, who came over from Big Piney, trying to change the tradition around a little bit here at Casper Kelly Walsh, and trying to bring back a winning tradition.
Yeah.
So far, they're 1-4 on the season.
Yeah, at least for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, that one win was the contest that we had there in Cheyenne against Cheyenne South, the Fighting Bison, of that infamous at least game that we had to see. Again, a last second, at least 25 seconds remaining on, at least in the contest, a throwing touchdown pass by Casper Kelly Walsh.
Indians are in their travel white uniforms. They have the red numerals with a black outline. They have the headdress on their red helmets. Casper Kelly Walsh will be in the gold jerseys with the green numerals and the white outline, and again the white helmets with the KW on the side.
And again, these are special, at least, jerseys for Casper Kelly Walsh due to the fact that it is at least homecoming here for the Trojans.
Colton Atkinson will tee it up for the Trojans. Again, kind of, you said it reminded me of what North Dakota State, and also too on the baseball side, kind of reminds me how the A's would wear their different jerseys over at the Coliseum. So Atkinson, the left footer, will approach the football, and we are underway as it's an end-over-ender, and it's going to be picked up by Talich around the 7-yard line to the 10. 15, gets outside, gets a block from Johnson, 20, and looks like he will be driven down, I would say. Again, that's on the far side, so we'll wait until the official marks it. Could be around the 23, 24-yard line. Again, that is across the way.
And do want to mention as well, too, on the visual side, Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, do apologize here for the kind of layout at Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, a slanted press box where, again, there are slight obstructions in the way with the, at least, posts here to kind of, at least, keep up the press box. So, again, that might get in the way in tonight's contest.
First down at 10 for Cheyenne Central. Ball on their own 23-yard line. Dawson McCleary will send Storbo in motion. That's Brock Storbo. Handed off to Labatos, and Labatos bowls his way forward. Straight dive ahead for Cheyenne Central. He'll take it from the 23, looks like, to the 29, so give Labatos 6 yards on the run.
And again, do want to mention, with looking at the flags right now, it's kind of inconsistent. It's almost like a swirling wind here.
We'll call a second down, and we'll say about 4 yards for the Indians. Again to Lobato, so keep it on the ground, especially they don't want to throw into that heavy wind. He'll take it to the 30-yard line, and for Cheyenne Central, they're going to be faced with a 3rd down and 3. Again, going right to left across your radio dial, or again, if you are streaming with us, again, right to left across the visual side. So 3rd down for the Ward Tribe and 3 as Lobatos with 7 yards on 2 carries, as McCleary will have trips to the near side with both Storbos and Talich. McCleary operates out of the gun, sizes up the defense, back to pass, steps up, throws, got a man. That is Storbo, as Brock will make the grab for Cheyenne Central, and he will be brought down. Looks like at the 37-yard line, so about a 7-yard pass play, and McCleary hits.
And do we expect anything less, though, on that, too? At least that tandem. Again, short passes, especially with this win, pretty much for Cheyenne Central. They made a living of that last week against Laramie.
Yeah, just a little quick slant there by Storbo as he makes the grab, and it's 1st down and 10. Ball on the 37-yard line, hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos breaks 1 tackle, 40-yard line, 45, and close to a 1st down. Nice run that time by Carlos Lobatos. I think he may have all 10 on that one.
It looks very close, and it looks like, yes, they will give him that 1st down.
So 1st down, ball right now on the 47-yard line of the Indians, as Talich will come to the near side. Hash mark to the near side for Cheyenne Central. And a hard count by McCleary, and our first penalty of the game will be whistled against the Trojans.
So just like that, extra yardage in favor of the Central High Indians. And again, now for Cheyenne Central for the first time in this contest, will be on the Kelly Walsh side of the field.
So the ball right now on the Trojans' 47-yard line, 48 we'll say. And it'll be 1st down and 5 for Cheyenne Central. Storbo in the backfield, now back to pass, rolling to his right is McCleary. McCleary steps up, throws, got a man. That will be Brady Storbo. Storbo will be brought down and looks like around the 25, 24-yard line. So another big pass play from McCleary to Storbo.
Which is good news that at least Coach Apodaca and this Cheyenne Central squad not afraid to throw even into this win.
So 24 yards on that pass reception, and the Indians in business here right away. 1st down, ball on the 24-yard line of the Trojans. Hash mark to the far side as McCleary again operates out of the gun. Hands it off to Lobatos, gets a block from Brock Storbo, and he will bowl his way over to the 14, and that is close to another 1st down. So let's see exactly where the knees touched, and they're going to say it is at the 14. So they're going to give him 9 on the run.
Yeah, so about at least it looks like a 2nd and 1.
It's a 2nd and a very short one for the Indians. Again, knocking on the door as they're inside the red zone. 2nd down, in motion is Brady Storbo. And McCleary will roll to his left. Under a heavy rush, gets away from one would-be tackler, and then he'll be sacked at the 20-yard line as he's dropped for a 6-yard loss. And
he's slow to get up.
He's slow to get up right now.
That is not good to see. But he will get up under his own power.
And
he's limping a bit, it looks like.
So McCleary sacked for a 6-yard loss.
And McCleary will exit this contest.
So coming in for Cheyenne, no, actually he's going to go over quickly.
That's good to see. Then
to Mike Apodaca.
It looked like he was at least moving his way to the sideline there.
Indians need to get just inside the 14-yard line. So it's 3rd down for the Indians. McCleary, again out of the gun with Lobatos behind him. Back to pass. Rolls to his right, steps up, throws, got a man. It's caught. Breaks 1 tackle. That's Johnson. Johnson to the 5 and near the goal line. Touchdown. Nice grab by Johnson. He'll take it the distance for Cheyenne Central. A 20-yard touchdown pass for McCleary. From McCleary to Andrew Johnson. And Cheyenne Central in the first 3.5 minutes with the score. Tegan Tippett's on to attempt the PAT. It will be out of the hold of Johnson, kicking into a very stiff breeze here at Harry Geldine Stadium. Snap is back, placement is down. It's high enough and just enough to get through.
Took its sweet time.
Central 7 and Casper Kelly Walsh nothing. We're back after this 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. And welcome back to Casper, Kelly Walsh, and Harry Gelding Stadium. Back deep for the Trojans. It looks like it's going to be Cameron Boris along with, looks like Cameron Burkett. The kick is away, and it'll be picked up by Burkett as he will take it to the 20, 25, 30-yard line, and he will be putting Casper Kelly Walsh in pretty good field position, Nick, at the 36.
Well, again, that is all in part due to the wind where Central kicked it into it. Again, you saw at least there with that PAT how it just hung up in the air. Again, it's going to be a struggle for Cheyenne Central and, again, for as well Casper Kelly Walsh to at least kick into this very brisk wind here at Casper.
Trent Walker will be the quarterback this time. Last time we saw Isacius Spillane, so they'll operate again out of the gun with the option offense, as we'll get to more of the players here in just a moment, and we will have quickly a handoff, 36-yard line to the 40, 45 down the sidelines, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, and that will be Emery Usick, as Usick takes it 64 yards to the house. Emery Usick, 64 yards. So the Trojans answer back in a period of 14 seconds.
And just a collapse of Cheyenne Central's defense there, just allowing that at least wide open spacing. And just like that, again, one extra point away from tying up this ball game.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to introduce you to the offense. That's how quick it was. Atkinson on for the PAT. The southpaw will put it through the uprights. And we're tied at 7-7. 8:13 left to go, period number one on the Pepsi scoreboard. We got a tie score, 7-7. Back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. Nice drive by the Central Indians, capped off by a 20-yard touchdown pass from Dawson McCleary, and yards after the catch by Andrew Johnson put Central up 7-0. One play from scrimmage for the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans, and Usick, and give Emery Usick his due. He looked like he was kind of trying to balance along the sideline around the 35-yard line of the Indians, recaptured his balance and took it to the house. 64 yards, very impressive run. Atkinson will approach the football end over end. This time it'll come down into the hands of Talich at the 5 to the 10, 15-yard line. Trying to get inside 20. 25 gets away from one tackle. Nice that there's a flag down. It'll come back as Talich will bring it up to the 37-yard line. Nice return by the sophomore. However, there is a flag on the field.
And do want to mention as well, too, apologies on the at least visual side here. Again, as we are in front, or at least in front of us, is the Kelly Walsh band.
Yeah, well, block in the back is the traditional call when you have a flag coming down on the kickoff return team. So the flag was thrown at the 23, so it will bring the football back to the 13 as dusk has now officially settled in. Of course, we got a lot of cloud cover, which makes the stadium look even darker. So for Cheyenne Central, ball rested on their 13-yard line as Dawson McCleary will bring them out. He will send Talich to the near side. Across the way will be Johnson along with Brady Storbo, who is now in motion. They'll hand it off to Labatos. Labatos breaks free. He's into the open field, and Labatos takes it all the way down to the 29-yard line. 16-yard run by Carter Labatos.
And again, give credit to that offensive line by Cheyenne Central, creating those at least wide open spacings. And again, Cheyenne Central having no issue running the ball here so far in this contest.
Yeah, some breathing room right there for the War Tribe as they will have a first down. Ball right now on their own 29-yard line. McCleary again operating out of the gun. Labatos behind him. He'll hand it off to Labatos. Labatos bunched up and dropped probably for a loss of a yard. If anything, they'll give him back to the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're going to do. No gain on the play, so it'll be second down and 10 for Cheyenne Central. Indians and the Trojans tied 7-7. If you're just joining us, yes, it's a windy night here in Casper, but both teams, not worried about the wind right now as both teams score on their first drives. So for McCleary, he will send Johnson motion. He'll flip it to Johnson. Johnson trying to get outside. He's strung out and will pick up maybe about, if he got over the 30-yard line, we give him a yard. They're going to say no gain, so no gain for Johnson.
So it's going to be about 3rd and 10 for Cheyenne Central here.
Yeah, well, again, the Indians not too afraid to pass the football even in the wind. McCleary, again, has some good hands as receivers. So he's got Brady Storbo along with Johnson out on top, Talmadge to the near side. 3rd down, as now they will check over to the sideline, get a fresh play. And now McCleary will tell the offensive line, here's what's going on. Back to pass goes McCleary. He'll roll to his right, steps up, throwing long, and he's got a man. It might be right at the stick across the way. Let's see who made the grab.
It looked like
it was Johnson who made the grab.
Yeah, it's going to be about a yard short, though, from that ref's positioning, so they might be 4th and 1 for Cheyenne Central.
9-yard reception on the play there, Nick. Good call. So just short for Cheyenne Central.
And this is a no-brainer for Mac Apodaca. Again, you should go with this, especially how well Labatos has been running the ball.
Yeah, and you don't want to punt it into this wind either. I mean, you're going to probably at best get 15 yards just in the air. McCleary on a hard count, then backs off. Again, they'll recoil the offense. And now the Indians want to call a timeout with 5:51 to go here, quarter number 1 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Indians 7, Trojan 7. We're back with the 4th and 1 call after these words. A 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Welcome back to the Oil City. Larry Proietti, Nick Proietti, as we are here bringing you tonight's game. Cheyenne Central, as they are taking on the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. It's homecoming night, so again, you got a couple of ambushes right out there for you. The Indians' 3-game winning streak right now, as they are 3-2, and for the Trojans, they're 1-4. They've currently lost their last 2, being beaten by Rock Springs and most recently the Sheridan Bronx. For the Indians, it's 4th down and 1. Ball right now resting on the 38-yard line of the War Tribe. McCleary out of the gun to Labatos. Labatos straight ahead. Did he get it?
It's going to be close.
I think he got the yard. So if he got it, it'll be a 1st down. And looking at the one official across the way, I think they are going to.
Yeah, it is.
Are they going to call they're going to call a measurement? So I'm looking on the field right there. It looks like the Indians may have it.
I think they'll get it by
the nose.
Yeah, the nose of that football. But again, we are waiting the sticks to move on out there and get that measurement. Indians seem pretty confident that they've got this.
So they're going to stretch it out. Ball right now just past the 39-yard line. They'll stretch out. Yeah, and they do have it by the length of the football. So the Indians will have a fresh set of downs. 5:46 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Again, a very stiff breeze out here tonight. Indians are going into that breeze here on this second offensive possession.
It's a stiff breeze, but also to a very cold night as well, where we got here about 73 degrees about a couple hours ago. It has dropped down drastically with these storms.
Brady Storbo and Talmadge to the near side. Brock Storbo just in front of McCleary. He'll provide a block for Labatos. Labatos gets over the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle. Nice job by Labatos. Still driving. And he'll get over the 45, maybe to the 46. Wow, what a run by Carter Labatos.
That's just hard-nosed running right there by Labatos, not at least dragging defenders with them. And again, just picking up those extra yards.
Well, they're going to give them 6. We're going to give them 7 because it's right at the 46-yard line. So it will be 2nd down and 4 for the Tribe, as McCleary now will back up into the gun. Labatos about 3 yards behind him. 2nd down and 4 as the Indians now being patient with the football. McCleary rolling to his left, steps up, throws, got a man! That's Brock Storbo. Storbo makes the grab at the 38-yard line. First down for Cheyenne Central, 38 of Casper Kelly Walsh. A big run right there, a big pass play by Dawson McCleary as he hits Storbo.
It was a big pass play to a big guy out there again. Storbo twins, again, pushing around 6'6". Again, we'll be seeing them in the basketball season as well, too, for Cheyenne Central.
So for the Indians, a first down call for the War Tribe again as they are now in KW territory at the 37-yard line. As McCleary again will go to Lobatos. Lobatos straight ahead, gets a block. Again, the Haas up front doing the job as, again, it's just a straight dive play as he takes it down to the 27-yard line. Give him 10. That'll be a first down.
And give credit to Carlos Lobatos, just, again, getting it done on the ground here where they definitely need him here tonight.
I'll tell you what, that offensive line has been doing the job here over the last few weeks for Cheyenne Central. First down, ball on the 27-yard line. Back to pass goes McCleary. He wants it all. Going long, got a man, and he overshoots Johnson. Johnson he was on the flag pattern.
What a shame. He was wide open in that end zone. It would have been an easy 6 for Cheyenne Central, but again, just overshot him just by at least a couple feet.
And again, thrown into a stiff breeze, so give McCleary his due. He threw a nice little missile there. Unfortunately, Johnson couldn't catch up with it.
And it could have been a situation for McCleary kind of overcompensating for that win. Threw it just a little too hard. And again, this is where we stand. Another at least second down and 10.
4:32 left to go here in the period as the Indians and Trojans are tied 7-7. McCleary changing up the play at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Out of the gun. This time he'll step throw. He's got a man. That's Brady Storbo. And Storbo will make the grab. He'll be just short of the first down as he's brought down at the 19-yard line. So about a 7-yard pass play. Third down for Cheyenne Central.
No, they're going to give him the first down. It's a fresh set as they move.
I'm sorry, so that was just 10 yards there for Brady.
And Brady will exit this contest as he's limping towards the sideline. He's taking off his helmet, so that's not good news for the Indians.
So
yeah, he's limping pretty hard right now on that sideline.
Yeah, he's trying to walk it off real quick as the Indians will make some substitutions. First down and 10. And hold everything, we're going to have a timeout. And I think the Indians have called their second timeout of the period. With 4:01 left to go, quarter number one, still tied 7-7. Indians again inside the red zone of Casper Kelly Walsh. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. So across the way, Nick, as they work on Brady Storbo right now, looks like an ankle with the training squad right now trying to tape it up there and give him a little more sustainability as he stands on it.
Yeah, I think if anything right now I see him just tying up his cleats. It looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's grabbing his helmet and he wants to come back in, so there you go.
Good to see
nice,
the big,
nice job.
Good to see Brady at least getting back out there.
Tape goes a long way in football, that's for sure. First down and 10 for the Indians. Ball right now on the 16-yard line. Hash mark to the far side for the Indians as they are going right to left. They'll pitch it back to Lobatos. Lobatos gets the block from Lundberg. Still on his feet to the 5 and near the end zone. And he's at touchdown.
They're going to call it touchdown Indians.
16-yard run by Carter Lobatos. That is a nice run there by one Carter Lobatos, and again, a good block by Nate Lundberg, providing that little opening as he had a chance to cut it back inside. So Tippett will attempt the PAT. It will be out of the hole to Johnson as the Indians back on top now, 13-7 with 3:53 left to go here in the period. Again, kicking into a stiff breeze. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick through the uprights this time is good. Indians 14, Trojans 7 back after this 30-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Well, right now, the Indians' offense looking pretty good. Now they need the defense to step up here, as there's only one play offensively for Casper Kelly Walsh, as Emery Yusuk took it 64 yards the first time they had the football.
And we know the Trojans easily can do that. Again, we saw that when they took on Cheyenne South a couple of weeks ago. Again, that this team can find that spark of fire and, again, get those easy scores.
Back deep will be Cameron Burkett along with Colin Boris. And this time the Indians will get it to the short guy, as again Tippett's keeping it away, and it's picked up by, looks like Siope Papale, as he will bring it down. Let's see, they're going to have good field position again. How about right at the 36-yard line?
And that's going to happen again with the winds kicking into it. It's going to be at least difficult here for this 3:46 remaining in the first quarter for Cheyenne Central.
Trent Walker's your quarterback. Anderson, along with Burkett and Yusik, are in the flex bone right now for the Trojans. As in motion this time, they'll go to the big fullback, and he goes nowhere. Nice job by the Indians. In the play was Phoenix Buskey. He's a senior, and he will be dropped for a loss back to the 35-yard line.
Give credit to Cheyenne Central. That defense, they read that all the way and gobbled it up in back, at least backfield. And
So
again, 2nd and 11 for the Trojans.
So again, a different look than we saw last time against Cheyenne South, as Buskey will be in the backfield right now. On one wing is Burkett, and looks like over is Yusik on the other side. This time they'll keep it himself. Walker pitches it back. And again, coming up in support and dropping them for another loss. Cheyenne Central defensively, great stop that time by Cardinal Labatos.
It's almost after that big, at least one play by Casper Kelly Walsh, that run play for the TD. It seems like Cheyenne Central's kind of well aware of the at least run plays by the Trojans.
Well, and another loss on the play, so it will be 3rd down and 12 for Casper Kelly Walsh, where they don't really like to throw the football, but they can't.
They got the wind behind them right now, so they at least could take that in advantage here.
Graham split to the near side. In motion comes Yusik from left to right. Long count by Walker, and now we're going to have a penalty against Casper Kelly Walsh. The second one is Burkett will leave before the snap, and that will be on the false start, their second penalty for 10 yards. And that'll march them back to the 29-yard line. They need to get to the 46.
So 3rd and 21 for the Trojans here.
3rd down 16, Nick.
That is correct.
So they'll line up in the same formation. Again, Graham to the near side. In motion again comes Yusik, as he will go from left to right. Walker, long count, and back to pass. Rolls to his right, rolling. Pressure breaks down, and there's a holding call. And again, making the big play for Cheyenne Central is Tanner Bullock. Drops him for a loss. The indication is against the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans on a hold, and I think Central will dismiss that penalty.
Yeah, looking like Coach Apodaca is saying, no, we're going to decline it, and that's what they will do.
And Walker is dropped for a 5-yard loss on the sack.
So it will be 4th and 16 for Casper Kelly Walsh again with the wind behind him.
Well, we're looking at 4th and 21 after the 5-yard loss. So for the Indians, Johnson will have to retreat. And back deep to punt it will be Atkinson in the backfield. And a bad snap. And it's on the turf right now. Atkinson will have to chase it down, and he will be down at the 1-yard line. Central with the football, 1st and goal at the 1. On the bad snap, Atkinson had to chase it down, and oh my, he will lose. He'll be tagged for a 23-yard loss. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was a very... Again, well over the head there of who was at least supposed to kick that, at least a ball for the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans.
Well, there was 2 in the back, and both took off. I do believe back here with him, I didn't get the other number, but I knew it was Atkinson, their kicker. Yeah. So for the Indians, it's 1st down and goal at the 1 with $1:41 to go here in the quarter. I would think you would get a steady dose of Carter Labatos right now as you have Brady Storbo back in the lineup, as he will line up just to the side, the right side of McCleary. Hand off to Labatos behind Storbo, in touchdown. Pretty simple drill right there. So for the Indians, they extend their lead now to 20-7. 1:37 mark here in quarter number one as Labatos picks up his second TD of the night.
His second of what could be many for Cheyenne Central tonight, the way that he is running the football.
Well, again, you thank Casper Kelly Walsh for the gift, and Central took just one play to put it into the end zone. Tippett's out of the hole to Johnson to extend the lead to 2 TDs. Placement is down. Kick is high enough and through the uprights. No, it went off to the right and no good. So it was high enough, but unfortunately off to the right. 1:37 left to go here in period number one. Indians 20, Trojans 7, back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Well, with 1:37 left to go in the quarter, the Indians will have the wind in their face one more time. Back deep will be Burkett along with, it looks like, Boros, as they will now come up to around the 10-yard line. Tippett will approach the football and will hit a line drive. This time it gets past Burkett. He'll pick it up around the 3 to the 10. 15, 20, down the sidelines, gets away from one tackle, and he will be driven out near the 30. Nice return there as the ball squirted away from Burkett, and the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans again with pretty good field position. 21-7 our score here in the first quarter. They're going to say the 29 officially for Casper Kelly Walsh.
Again, we do have other games in Class 4A underway right now. We will get to those scores as soon as possible to pass that along your radio waves.
So we have in the backfield now, we got Anderson along with Burkett and Usyk as they'll operate again out of the flex bone. This time they'll get off to the first back through. That is Anderson. He breaks a few tackles, and he's in first down territory with an 11-yard run there for Anderson. So Kevin Anderson picking up a first down. Nice run as he goes off tackle. And the clock right now will wind once they start put the sticks down. Ball resting on their own 40-yard line. First down and 10. So a couple of big plays for Casper Kelly Walsh, and then that last drive, boy, just never got on track, and a couple of penalties really hurt.
Penalties is what cost Kelly Walsh in that last drive.
Anderson right behind Walker, the junior quarterback, as he will go again with Anderson. Straight ahead, 45, 46 as he's brought back. And looked like Labatos on the stop, so a 6-yard run that time by Anderson. So second down and 4 for the Trojans. Under a minute to play here in quarter number one. Carter Labatos with a couple of touchdowns for Cheyenne Central. Andrew Johnson with the other touchdown on a pass from Dawson McCleary. The only negative mark, I guess, here in the first period is the Tippett's missed PAT into a strong wind as he shanked it to the right. Walker on a second down and 4 call. Low snap. He will have it on the option, pitch it back to Usyk. Usyk trying to get straight ahead as he was strung out and then turned it back up to the 49-yard line. So basically turned a loss into a gain of 3, and it will be third down and short for the Trojans.
As we are under 10 seconds here remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to get the play off when they're going to switch sides. So after one period of play, Central leading 20-7. We're back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Back as we get ready for quarter number 2. Nick, you got some scores. Ball on the 49-yard line for Casper Kelly Walsh, 3rd down 1.
I certainly do. It is scoreless in Rock Springs between Campbell County and Rock Springs, 0-0. Cheyenne East leads Laramie Plainsman 7-0. That is in the second quarter. And also 2 in the second quarter in Sheridan. The Bronx lead Cheyenne South 21-0.
3rd down and short. They'll hand it off to the first back through. That would be, looks like, is it? No, it's not going to be Usick. It will be Cole Kraus, as he will take it down to the 44-yard line, so a pickup of 7 on the play.
As Kelly Walsh is now entered in Central High territory once again.
So 1st down and 10, ball on the 44-yard line of the Tribe. Again, this win won't really pretty much play havoc on KW since they keep it pretty much, grounded again out of that flex bone. Back in the gun again is Walker. He's got Kraus to his left. In motion this time, they'll give it off to Burkett. Burkett trying to sweep to the left side. Still on his feet. Down into the 37-yard line range, I would say.
There is a flag down.
There is a flag down, hold everything. Laundry down around the 41 and 42.
We'll see if it will be a holding call against Kelly Walsh.
And they're going to march the Trojans back on the holding call. Let's see where the initial flag was thrown, because, again, it's a spot penalty. They're going to say the 42 and mark it back to the 48-yard line. So for KW, that is their 3rd penalty for 20 yards.
And this is the exact same thing. What we saw, at least that previous drive, that backed up Kelly Walsh and at least stopped him. And again, also too resulted in that at least errant punt by the Trojans.
So for the Trojans now, they are faced with a 1st down 20. Ball back on their own 48-yard line. Walker operating out of the gun again with a flex bone. In motion is Burkett. And they'll go straight ahead to Kraus. Kraus over the 50, down to the 47-yard line. Pick up a 5 for Cole Kraus.
And do want to mention on the Class 4A scoreboard as well, too, between Thunder Basin and Natrona happening up in Gillette. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff for that contest tonight.
And actually, you can give Kraus about 6 on that play, so it will be, we'll call it 2nd down long.
Yeah, 2nd and 13, yeah.
So we'll give him actually 7. So 2nd down 13 for Casper Kelly Walsh. Ball right now on the Indians' 47-yard line as Walker barks out the signals. This time go back to Kraus. Kraus straight ahead. Nice run. Down to the 40-yard line, so chewing up some big chunks of yards.
So about a gain of 6 or 7 there for him.
He's had 3 runs right now for 7 yards each, 21 yards. So a 3rd down, it's still 3rd and long for the Trojans. They need to get to, it looks just in between the 35, 34.
Yeah, they're
3rd down long 5.
Yeah, they're going to call it actually a 3rd down at 7 for the Trojans here.
Again, where they're at on the 40, it's a long 5. So Walker, again, operating out of the gun. And he'll go with Kraus straight ahead. Kraus will be short of the 1st down as he will be dropped at the 37-yard line, about 3 yards short. So we'll give him on the play there a couple of yards.
And it looks like the
4th down.
Yeah, it looks like the punt crew will come out for the at least Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans.
Yeah, I won't take any stock in that.
Yeah, we'll see. They have run a trick play before. And again, going back to that previous, at least, possession for Casper Kelly Walsh again, where the punt sailed over the, at least, heads of the, at least, Kelly Walsh Trojans, and again, it led to that central, at least, 1 yard, at least, touchdown.
They're going for it here on 4th down, as Anderson has returned to the backfield, as he will in the fullback position. Burkett in motion, low snap, back to pass is Walker. Walker flares it out. He's got Anderson. Anderson will have the 1st down, as he is. And then a late flag comes in. So, again, Walker's pass is complete. However, it may, let's see who it's going to be whistled against. The ball right now at the 34-yard line, more than enough for the 1st down and 4-yard gain. So now the officials
are looking for a conference right now.
Yeah, they want to talk about it.
Again, did not see what happened, but that flag was thrown well after the play, and it looks like they're at least pointing towards Cheyenne Central.
Pointing towards Cheyenne Central. Oh, they may just wave it off. Let's see. Ineligible receiver downfield against the Trojans, so you know the Indians are going to take that penalty.
And again, Coach Aaron McKelkey is going to go out and get an explanation about that call.
And now they're going to wave it off. So it'll be a first down, 4-yard pass play to Anderson from Walker. And it will be first down and 10.
So interesting situation right there.
Back in the lineup will be Phoenix Buskey. He's the big senior as he checks in for Casper Kelly Walsh. So they'll mark the ball just at the 34-yard line. First and 10, fresh set of downs. Again, KW had the football as we switched fields, or, switched directions. So a nice little drive going on right now that is taking up about 3.5 of the clock.
And again, it's just been dominated by the run game by the Trojans.
Walker this time to Anderson straight ahead at 3 yards in the old ever-lovely cloud of dust. Plows his way to the 31-yard line. We'll give him 3 on the play.
It's about 2nd and 7 for Trojans here.
Lundberg on the stop for Cheyenne Central. 20-7 our score as the Indians lead by a couple of scores. A gain of 3 on the play, and it will be 2nd down and 7 with the ball resting right now on the Indians' 31-yard line. Walker, again, operating out of the gun. He's got Anderson right behind him, and this time he will go to Anderson again straight ahead. Anderson is dropped at the 29 after a 2-yard gain.
And again, they're small runs right now, but eventually it pays off in dividends for Casper Kelly Walsh, finding some way to get at least those ever hard first downs.
So for the Central Indians, right now Lundberg on that tackle again for Cheyenne Central. 3rd down and 5 as the defense now needs to step it up again. Casper Kelly Walsh again operating out of that flex bone with Walker. This time we see Walker in. We saw Spillane last time against Cheyenne South. This time they'll go straight ahead with Anderson, and he will be short of the first down. It'll be 4th down and a couple. So give him 3 on the play.
Yeah, 4th down and short, but you would assume for Casper Kelly Walsh they will go for it once again here.
And Buskey will come. You know, the thing is, too, you're keeping the Central defense out there. What you're doing, you got the wind. Central has the wind behind them right now, and they can't get the offense out there. So it'll be 4th down and short for K-Dub.
As this drive has lasted quite some time here, as it's 6:35 left here in the second quarter.
And this time Walker will give it off to Buskey. Buskey first down and more, as he will take it to the 20-yard line.
It's been plain and simple for Casper Kelly Walsh, just run it right up the gut. And so far, Central's had difficulty wrapping up and bringing down that at least that running back.
So for Casper Kelly Walsh, ball resting right now, right at the edge of the red zone, as Buskey will pick up 6. And for the Trojans, a fresh set of downs, and again, a very time-consuming drive. So Walker breaks the huddle.
But for Casper Kelly Walsh here, first time, at least officially, that they're in the red zone.
As long count. This time they'll go to the big fullback again. Buskey tries to cut back against the grain, and he will be dropped. Maybe if they give him 4, they're going to give him to the 16. I'm going to say the 17. We'll give him 3 on the play, and we'll call a 2nd down and 7.
And it's just been small runs here and there by the Trojans, but again, it's been positive yardage.
So for the Indians, again, the cry is out for the defense right now. They need to get these guys and shut them down and get the offense back out there. So for the Trojans, 2nd down and 7. As we see Walker again barking out signals this time, and we got a whistle.
It looks like we might have false start on Kelly Walsh.
So for Kelly Walsh, that will be penalty number 4 for 25 yards.
That'll back him up to about 2nd and 11.
At the 21. Needing to get to the 10 for a first down. So second down and long, as the Indians defense, again, been out there a long time.
And even as you at least count to all these penalties for Casper Kelly Walsh, again, we go back to Cheyenne South, that matchup of just how many between the two teams. But again, Kelly Walsh did contribute, and again, saw them at least stall on a few drives against those Fighting Bison.
This time, back to pass, goes Walker, steps up, throws in the end zone, and is it caught? Touchdown! Caught down by Burkett. So Burkett, as a matter of fact, he was being guarded by Brady Storbo, and the ball got tipped up, and Burkett came down with it. So for a 21-yard score, it will be Walker to Burkett.
And that play, give credit to that wide receiver for the Trojans again. It looked like it was heading for the turf. Kind of almost pulled off the trick play there. And again, a touchdown for the Trojans.
Came out of his halfback, well, his wing position to make the grab. Atkinson, the left footer, to attempt the PAT. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick through the uprights. Good. Indians 20, Trojans 14. Back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Storbo got turned around. That would be Brady Storbo got turned around, and Burkett made the grab. He bobbled it and then came down with it. And for the Trojans, and we got a whistle here before the kickoff. So what do we got going on here now? So they're going to re-kick it.
Yeah, not
there's,
sure.
There's no penalty.
Yeah,
I don't think there was a whistle.
No flag. Maybe it was Kelly Walsh jumped the gun, so to speak, on that kickoff.
Now they're going to have somebody hold it for Atkinson. So with that being said, the Indians up by a touchdown, but they have also missed the extra point. Atkinson to boot it away, and this one will end up in the hands of Johnson. Johnson straight ahead. Tees to the 40. 45. Down and loses the football. It's loose on the turn, and the Indians recover.
Close one there for Cheyenne Central.
And falling on the football for the Tribe was Charlie Nichols. Nichols in the right place at the right time, as the Indians will have the football in great field position. It was a great run by Johnson. The ball coughed up around the 46-yard line. Nichols falls on it right at midfield.
So again, from disaster, at least turned out in favor of Cheyenne Central. Again, well, they'll take over on this offensive possession from the 50.
So for the Indians, again, now going left to right across your rated out as well as your visual side, you'll have Johnson along with Brady Storbo to the near side. Talent split on top. Brady Storbo in motion as he goes right to left. And they will give it off to Lobatos. Lobatos almost lost the handle, and he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
As he got swallowed up there by that Trojan front line, and at least it looks like a loss of one.
We'll just call it no game.
Yeah, no game.
So with 4:19 left to go here in the period, Indians lead by 6, 20-14. As McCleary barks out the play, as he's got both Brock Storbo, Johnson. Now he'll send Brady Storbo to the near side as well. Back to pass goes McCleary. He steps up. He wants it all. Going long for Johnson and overshoots him by about 7 yards, incomplete. So it will be 3rd down and 10 for Cheyenne Central. Again, the wind is behind you now. And again, like you said earlier, Nick, try to get a touch with, again, you look at the flag, it's been pretty stiff throughout the night.
Well, again, you're trying to at least undercompensate or overcompensate due to that win. So, again, as that was also, too, again, another well-overthrown ball by Dawson McCleary.
Yeah, he overshot Johnson by a few yards, and now McCleary will look over to the sideline as they will check off the play. As Johnson split to the near side, trips out on top. Labatus, the lone running back in the backfield, and McCleary back to pass. Has time, steps up, throws, got a man. That's caught. Or is it going to be incomplete? In and out of the hands of Johnson. Johnson almost made the grab at the 40-yard line, and he took a big hit as well.
As it will be 4th down and 10 for the Central Iowa Indians.
That looked like Kaufman putting a little stick on Johnson. So for the Indians, they're going to have to boot it away. McCleary looks like he might have got shaken up on the throw.
I do believe you're correct.
Yeah, he's going to come on over and just shake it off. So back deep to punt it away will be Johnson for Cheyenne Central. Clock stopped at 3:53 to go here in the first half.
As
Indians lead by a half dozen.
As we were just waiting for personnel to get on the field for the Indians.
And we are going to have a whistle. And it will be a delay game against Cheyenne Central, so that will mark it back to the 45-yard line.
And I think with the wins, that's kind of a smart play there, at least letting that time, at least that penalty happen.
So back deep for the Trojans will be Pale along with Zacius Spillane. Johnson will kick a ground ball in and out of the hands of one of the Trojans. It's picked up by Spillane. Spillane will be dropped down at the 36-yard line. Holy cow. So Spillane almost busted one through for the Trojans. So the ball resting on their own 36-yard line.
As I see Brady Storbo get back up as he's
There's a flag down, too.
But I do want to mention again, Brady Storbo slow to get over the central sideline, limping once again.
And there's also another Indian that got hurt, and that looks like Zachary Enyart. So Enyart being helped over the sideline, so both Brady and Brock will come on out.
Got block in the back by Casper Kelly Walsh.
So that's going to move him back. So that'll move back to the 26-yard line as they'll operate the offense as Walker comes in with the play from Aaron McKelkey, first-year head coach here at Casper Kelly Walsh, replacing John Vance after about a 5-year stint. So bringing his playbook in from a Big Piney.
And obviously a lot of emotions here for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, it is homecoming here in Casper, Wyoming.
Kraus will be the fullback behind Walker, and they will go to Kraus. Kraus stumbled a little bit, and he will be brought down at the, looks like the 30. We'll give him 4 on the play, Nick.
As the clock ticks down right now, 3:30 left here in this first half.
Well, you know, for the Indians, they just need to get to the locker room right now and get bandaged up a little bit. They're getting bounced around here.
But again, right now you got to rely on that Indians defense that is right now a little bit gassed.
Yes, they are, especially on that last drive by the Trojans. 2nd down and 6. This time they'll go again to Kraus. Kraus trying to feel his way through. There's a flag down as Kraus will pick up about 3 to the 33, but this one may come back. So let's see what the preliminary indication is. And it will be chop block by the Trojans, so that's going to march him back about 10.
So another penalty for Casper Kelly Walsh, which has been an issue for this team throughout this entire season.
So they'll mark them back. Is that a big one? That's going to be 15. So that'll mark them back to the 15-yard line, actually to the 14. So it will be 2nd down and long. They need to get up to the 37-yard line for a first down. So if you do the math, it's 2nd down and 23. A lot of real estate they got to cover right now. Walker out of the gun. Again in the flexible. Bad snap. Ball loose on the turf.
And I
think the Indians got it.
Yeah, I think Central has that ball.
And that will be Tanner Bullock on the recovery. Inside the 10.
How about that for the Indians defense making the play on that?
So Tanner Bullock gets the recovery for Cheyenne Central, and they're in business. I mean, we're looking right now, the ball on the 6-yard line of K-Dub with 2:41 to go here in the first half. Chance for the Indians to extend that lead to 2 scores before the intermission.
You can go into halftime with a whole lot of momentum if they're able to get at least this touchdown on the board.
A couple of bad snaps by the Trojans, and one netted in an easy 1-yard touchdown. This could be dividends right here for Cheyenne Central. As McCleary will come out, he'll have Lobato standing behind him a couple of yards back. As McCleary operates about 5 yards out of the off the gun, he'll pitch it over to Johnson. Johnson trying to get outside. He's strung out, turns it up, and tries to fire his way into the end zone. Touchdown! Nice job by Johnson as he put down his head on the far side, and he'll get in for the score for the Indians. Nice job on the little pitch. You also want to call it a pitch pass, but again, Johnson will take it in for 5 yards and the score.
So it is now 26-14 in favor of Cheyenne Central with 2:32 left here in the second quarter.
Now the question is, will the Indians go for 2 to try to get back up by 14?
And it does look like they are.
So, again, the offensive unit still on the field. Has the ball right now about 2.5 yards away from the 2-point conversion.
This is a play right here by Cheyenne.
And the Indians will call their final timeout of the first half. 26-14, they'll discuss it, and we'll be back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Well, we're back at Harry Gelding Stadium with the Indians leading by a dozen right now, 26-14, as Coach Apodaca called us a final timeout for the Indians. So, again, they're looking to go for the 2, Nick, to get it up to 2 scores.
After the missed PAT on the previous, at least, touchdown by the Indians.
Now, Brady Storbo will be back with McCleary, and they will fake the handoff. And McCleary will hit Storbo, who's wide open, touchdown. So Brady Storbo will get the 2-point conversion. And for Cheyenne Central, they now lead 28-14. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Well, dropping back deep for the Trojans will be Burkett along with Boros as they will stand around the 5-yard line. But if Tippett hits this one, especially with the wind behind him, I would venture to say this is going to fly into the end zone. Again, a 28-14 lead for Cheyenne Central here in the first half. Tippett approaches the football end over ender, and that one will fly about 7 yards deep into the end zone. So it'll be first down and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line for Casper Kelly Walsh. 2:32 left on the Pepsi scoreboard.
Obviously, plenty of time for Casper Kelly Walsh, a team that I do believe still has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, Central has used all of theirs, so in case they would get the football back. 58 degrees right now here in Casper.
The difficult thing for the Trojans right now is, again, as they are moving, at least this football, they're going into this steady breeze here in Casper.
Yeah, but then again, too, they've already got a touchdown pass as Burkett got one from 20 for 20 yards. From Walker. So Walker will operate out of the gun. He's got Kraus behind him along with Usyk, and it looks like it's also Burkett on the wings. Low snap, and they will give it off to Kraus. Kraus just a couple of yards as he squirms his way, actually give him 1 to the 21.
But you get another low snap right there by Casper Kelly Walsh.
Yeah, having some problems on the snap, you're right.
Almost could have resulted in another disaster for the Trojans.
So second down and 9, 2:10 on the Pepsi scoreboard as we wind down. Again, Usyk now will flank out to the near side. In motion is Burkett, and it'll be Walker. Walker options it to Burkett. Burkett, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, takes it up to the 26, excuse me. So they say Burkett, excuse me. So Burkett will pick up 5 on the play.
So we're going to say about 3rd and 5 for Casper Kelly Walsh here.
Ball resting on the 26-yard line, and you get to the 30, so pick up a 5, and we'll call it 3rd down 4.
The key thing is that the clock is still winding. A minute 33 left.
Yeah, I would think if they get the first down, then they might use their complements of timeouts with about a $1:30 to go here. Again, operating out of the gun is Walker. Walker, long count, in motion. This time is Usyk. Usyk sweeping on the far side, still on his feet, and they'll have the first down and more as he will be brought down to the 42-yard line. 16 yards on that gain. He's carried the ball 3 times already here in this contest, Nick. 83 yards rushing.
He is that explosive running back for the Trojans. And again, we saw it again on that play.
The Indians just can't find a way to slow him down. So with coming up on about a minute to go, I'm surprised that they're not using their timeouts. Again, first down and 10. Ball right now resting on the K-Dub 42-yard line. Walker this time will give it to Burkett as he gets stretched out, and he will be driven out, and they will say he's out. It looks like right back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
But it will be timeout by Casper Kelly Walsh with 50 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
So 50 seconds to go and a timeout. And they're going to actually say he lost a yard. So we'll call it 2nd down 11. And we'll keep it right here. We'll have, hopefully we'll keep you updated as best we can stat-wise. We will let you know that we got some scores that we'll keep you updated on. Most importantly, East High Thunderbirds leading Laramie right now. In the Gem City, 14-0. Cheyenne South still trailing 21. Well, last report we had, they were trailing 21-0 to Sheridan. We'll get an update on that here in just a bit. So we'll keep you updated on all of those scores. Matter of fact, the update just came up with Sheridan now leading 28-0 in the second period over Cheyenne South. We'll also keep you updated on Trona as they're in action against the Bolts. And we also have the Camels going up against the Tigers.
I do want to mention that Natrona in Thunder Basin officially is under a lightning delay again. That game was supposed to start here about 3 minutes ago, but they are under a lightning delay.
So lightning delay in Gillette right now between Natrona and the Bolts. 50 seconds to go. Ball right now resting on the 41-yard line of Casper Kelly Walsh as Walker right now with an empty backfield behind him, as he will be back to pass. He steps up, he throws, and throws it incomplete, trying to hook up with Usyk, and it will be 3rd down with about 47 seconds to go.
Yeah, 3rd and 11 for Casper Kelly Walsh here.
Interesting call by the Trojans.
Again, that rare pass play by the Trojan squad.
Yeah, they don't live and die by the pass, that's for sure. So again, Walker, the junior quarterback, empty backfield. And he's back to pass again. He steps up under heavy rush. Down he goes. Boy, he was bull rushed and down.
But here's the situation. Central has no timeout, so that clock will continue to run.
Joey Kostelecki with the sack. And, again, that will be the second time that he's gone down.
As now we're approaching 25 seconds remaining here before half.
So dropping him. Yeah, and really the Indians can't do anything to stop the clock. So a 6-yard loss to Walker, and they're just going to let the clock go tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, to the point where Kelly Walsh will need to call a timeout.
Well, they're not going to call a timeout, and we are at the intermission. So during, and then the flag comes after the clocks reach zeros. So with that, we'll wait here before the teams go to the locker room. Are they going to say there's a second left? So a delay of game penalty against the Trojans. And
as the scoreboard here shows officially 3 zeros on that board.
Unless they're going to add a second or two to the clock.
We'll see.
Because neither team has exited yet for the locker room. So the ball be marched back to the 29-yard line. Again, zeros on the clock. And taking a knee is Walker. So at halftime, officially, it's Cheyenne Central leading 28-14 over Casper Kelly Walsh. We will be back after a 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Well, Nick, it's homecoming here at Casper Kelly Walsh, and the crowd has been entertained, believe it or not, on a very windy night here in the Oil City. 42 points on the board here through the first half.
Kind of just seems like a normal fall night out here in Wyoming, as again we're on October 4th here, again as it is Week 5, game number 6 here in Class 4A of the 2019 high school football campaign between these, at least two, between Casper Kelly Walsh and Cheyenne Central.
And the Indians, again, come here on a 3-game win streak, and obviously we know 3 wins get you into the playoffs. Casper Kelly Walsh still fighting for their playoff life, even here with the 5 games into the season.
Well, with these two teams, a lot's on the line for Central and for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, Kelly Walsh trying to add more wins to sneak into the playoffs to get them at least above right now, kind of separate themselves from the Laramie's of the world, Gillette, and also to, again, Cheyenne South to at least solidify, at least have that postseason berth. For Central, again, it is seeding on the line for them where, again, they focus, at least this week right now, take care of business against Casper Kelly Walsh, and then next week back in Cheyenne over at Okie Blanchard Sports Complex, you'll see that East High Thunderbird team where, again, they sit above you right now currently 4th in that at least top 5 at least rankings here in Class 4A. So again, for Cheyenne Central, you want to keep that momentum going here, get the win against Kelly Walsh. Can you at least continue that as you take on a very daunting East High team at least on their home turf there at Cheyenne East?
And we do want to thank all our fine sponsors bringing you tonight's broadcast here. Again, as you're seeing it visually on YouTube as well as Periscope.
It's been a full one here at Kelly Walsh.
And again, also, too, we thank you for joining us on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, and 1480KRAE.com. Our coverage being brought to you by MHP LLP, Lennox Auto Body, Little Philly, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Medicat Pharmacy, Meridian Trust, Federal Credit Union, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Page and Zach Lane, number 1 Properties, Pepsi of Cheyenne, our Pepsi scoreboard in favor of the Indians right now, 28-14. Pete's Builders, Platte Valley Bank, Taco John's, the Goodwin Company, Wyoming Department of Transportation. We thank all of those wonderful folks. Again, it is homecoming tonight for the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. It's a very windy night, 57 degrees currently here as the temperatures dropped about, 16 degrees in about an hour that we've been on the air.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, where we got here about 73, but the winds were still going. It was a bit sunshine. Again, the clouds were in the distance here in Casper, but now they've kind of encompassed out here, including Casper Kelly Walsh. But again, no precipitation as it was anticipated in the forecast. We'll see what happens. Yes,
knock on wood, no delays. We also want to thank at this time, too, we want to thank all our fine sponsors, Arrow Moving and Storage, B&B Appliance and TV, Baskin-Robbins, Billy Adelman with the LCCC Flight Crew, the Bread Basket Bakery, Burns Insurance Company, Capital Lumber Company, Charles Schwab, Shine Auto Repair and Service, Chick-fil-A, Fat Boys, Tire and Auto, First Education, Federal Credit Union, Foot of the Rockies, Holiday Motors, High West Energy, Joette Produce, Kia of Cheyenne, LCCC, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, the Injury Prevention Program, also First Tier Bank, and Kuzma Success Realty. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back. We'll get you caught up on some of the numbers and how things developed here in the first half after this 2-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE.
College has been something that's always been on the back of my mind.
This is where I found what I wanted, one of my passions, what I really love to do.
In class, I feel more engaged.
The people here do care about you and they want to help you succeed in life.
They make it so easy to be a parent and be able to still go to school.
I like the way I'm improving.
I love being, part of the LCCC family, and I'm glad I made this step in my life.
It's interesting as we are here playing our 6th football game of the season.
Yeah.
And again, this is what they call week 5.
Because we have a 0 week in Class 4A where everyone else starts at least that week 1. That includes 3A, 2A, 1A here in the state of Wyoming.
And you look at this, the importance of this game, especially for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, the Indians, with the win last week against Laramie, pretty much punched their ticket. Now what they need to do is figure out where they're going to end up in the standings. So you look at Kelly Walsh after Central. They draw across town to Trona next week in the Oil Bowl. They've got Thunder Basin at Thunder Basin.
Well, and
then they get Campbell
County. Want to mention, at least with Natrona County taking on, at least hosting Kelly Walsh next week as well. So, again, that game has not happened here. Again, you got to go across town to, again, we're one of the tougher places to play.
And again, let's look at all the tiebreakers. Laramie has defeated Kelly Walsh. Campbell County has beaten Laramie. So you got to
break down this Venn diagram.
Tiebreakers. Again, 2 wins can get you in. But, you know, you got to beat one of these two teams. Laramie has still left on their schedule. They got to go south next week. They get Sheridan at home in Thunder Basin. So, you know, really for the Plainsmen, you know, not a lock that they're going to win 3 in a row, or even get one out of the 3.
And again, that matchup between Laramie and Cheyenne South, again, both teams at South, so they got to make it at least a trip across the hill, at least for that contest. Again, don't write that as an automatic W for Laramie or an automatic W for South. That should be a very competitive game, and that should be a toss-up where both Laramie and South kind of stand at this point in time.
Campbell County has to have Sheridan home next week. Then they will have South, and then they wrap up with Kelly Walsh right here at Harry Gelding Stadium. So the game that final week could be, you know, the playoff scenario right there.
The team that you have at least have not mentioned yet, but again, they're still in the driver's seat, so to speak, here is Central, where you look up at least the upcoming weeks remaining for Cheyenne Central.
They got East.
You got to go to East, a game that we will have here live on 1480 KRAE next Friday. But also, too, how about this? 2 back-to-back home games to wrap up the season. They got to see Natrona County come at least down to Risky Field.
Yeah.
So at least an advantage somewhat there instead of traveling up north, once again, to see that Mustangs team. And then week 8, they wrap up back again at Risky Field against Cheyenne South. So for Central, again, as you look at that outside, we'll see what happens with the Natrona County contest. Again, East is going to be at least a tough matchup for the Central High Indians, but it's a team that can control its destiny, so to speak. Again, if they're able to get the wins against teams like, again, Kelly Walsh here tonight, Cheyenne South at home, you have that option, you have that availability there.
Well, think about this too, Nick, for Cheyenne Central. The next 3 weekends, they're in Cheyenne.
Yeah.
They'll get to sleep in their own bed. So, again, they travel to the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex, but they go home after it's all said and done.
Yep.
Then you got the 2 home contests to wrap up with Natrona and South. So right now the schedule, again, competition, yes, very good, East and Natrona, and probably the weaker of the 3 is South, but the bottom line is you're at home. So you are in charge of your own destiny. And the reason why we're talking about these scenarios, this is, as again, if you haven't been to homecomings, these are about 20-minute long half times. Then they give the teams about an extra 5 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back and we're going to take a timeout. We're going to check in on some of the scores going on in Class 4A. We also have a first half stats. So we'll be back after these words right here. 2-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE. At the intermission, Cheyenne Central leading 28-14 over Casper Kelly Walsh. It's homecoming 2019 here at Harry Gelding Stadium. Again, one of 2 stadiums that still have turf. The rest are all the all-weather turf.
As you can see, kind of put together like a puzzle piece. There are a few patches there that do have a little bit of sand on them. Again, not that at least rubber tire surface underneath the artificial turf around.
And you can tell this stadium has already had its wear and tear.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And you've had that opportunity. You played up here back in 2006, and again, you get to this time of year, there's quite a few folks on this football field in addition to Casper Kelly Walsh. You got some scores, so let's go to you quickly on the scoreboard here at halftime.
Well, looking at Class 4A, the scoreboard right now in Rock Springs, the Tigers at half lead the Campbell County Camels by a score of 14-7. At half in Laramie, the Plainsmen right now are at least showing a goose egg on the board against Cheyenne East, but how about it's a little bit more competitive than what we thought of what this contest would be at half. East leads the Plainsmen right now 13-0, so kind of almost a nail biter there for at least Chad Goff's East High Thunderbirds. At half up in Sheridan, how about this one? The Sheridan Bronx at home hosting Cheyenne South. They lead this contest 42-0, so close to a running clock once again for Cheyenne South this season. So again, Bronx lead that one at home, and still in a lightning delay in Gillette. Thunder Basin Bolts in Natrona County, again, scoreless 0-0. Again, that game has not even kicked off. They are fighting a lightning delay out there in Gillette.
All right, it's 28-14 here at Harry Gelding Stadium. Let's tell you a little bit how things developed. Well, the Indians took the opening kickoff and drove it all the way down, a nice 3-minute and 33-second drive as it ended up at a 20-yard touchdown pass as Dawson McCleary hooked up with Andrew Johnson and Tippett's put the PAT through. Again, a very stiff breeze as Indians were in the first quarter going into it. Well, it only took one play right after that, 8:13 left to go in the period as Emery Usick took it 64 yards to the house on a great run on a sweep to the outside, and he was off to the races, and nobody caught up with him. Atkinson added the PAT, and we were knotted up at 7-7. So we come a little later into the quarter, another nice drive by the Indians, which ended up with a Carter Lobato 16-yard run. Tippett's adding the PAT at 3:53 left in the first period. It's 14-7. Then, via a bad snap on a punt that ended up being down by Atkinson at the 1-yard line, the Indians trotted out Carter Lobatos for a 1-yard run. Unfortunately, the Tippett's PAT was no good. It was off to the right with 1:37 left to go in the period. The Indians led 20-7. Well, in the second quarter, a nice surgically architect drive by the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. They finally netted a touchdown with about 4:47 to go, and it was a Trenton Walker to Burkett touchdown pass that covered 21 yards.
Yeah.
Atkinson with a PAT, 20-14.
As you mentioned, again, surgically dissecting Cheyenne Central, the defense on that. Again, it was pretty much a 3, 4, 5 yard at least run plays consistently, and then just kind of out of the blue there to kind of get points on the board for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, that touchdown where, again, we know this Trojan team does not throw a whole lot in these contests.
And Burkett caught that touchdown pass,
and he did
over Storbo, who's 6'5", and he bobbled it.
Yeah, but he bobbled it. It bobbled it again. It was pretty much a trick play. It was a phenomenal play by him in the end zone. But again, that at least equated to 14 points, or at least 13 pinning the PAT for Casper Kelly Walsh there.
And then another fumble by the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans, ending up on the 6-yard line, and it only took the Indians one play to take it in, with Andrew Johnson taking that little pitch pass from Dawson McCleary. He sweeps to the far side and takes it in for the touchdown, and then Brady Storbo catching the 2-point conversion from Dawson McCleary. That's where we stand, 28-14 here at the intermission. Indians coming back out into the field. We're going to take a quick timeout. We will be back after a 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Nick, check on the first half stats. First off for Dawson McCleary, he had 91 yards through the air. As I'm taking a look here, he was 6 of 9 in the first half. 2 receptions by Brady Storbo for 38, Brock Storbo 2 for 24, and Andrew Johnson 2 receptions for 29 yards.
And you got to at least mention with the majority of those yards through the air, especially for McCleary, at least for the Storbo twins. Again, majority of that was coming at least against this strong breeze here tonight at Casper. So, again, they've shown that they've not been afraid of the winds up here and that they are willing to throw that football.
On the ground, Carter Lobatos unofficially, again, my stats here, 11 rushes for 78 yards. Andrew Johnson has 2 rushes for 6 yards and a touchdown. Again, Lobatos also with a couple of TDs on his runs for this evening. McCleary has been sacked once for 6 yards. No penalties by the Indians in the first half, that I recall.
I don't believe so. I think all of them have been on Casper Kelly Walsh.
And I see Casper Kelly Walsh with they've been flagged 5 times for 30 yards here in the first half. Walker, the quarterback, was 2 of 3 for 25 yards in the first half. Burkett had the TD as he caught it. He has 1 reception for 21 yards, and Anderson has the other reception for 4 yards. On the ground, Kevin Anderson has rushed the ball 5 times for 25 yards. Cameron Burkett, 3 rushes for a total of 3 yards. Emery Usyk is the leading ground gainer of both teams right now, 3 rushes and 83 yards. If you want to do the math quickly, that's 27.6 yards per rush. Also on the rushing side is Phoenix Busky. He had 3 rushes for 8 yards. Cole Kraus, also out of the fullback position, he came in with 6 rushes and 29 yards. Walker has been sacked 3 times for a total of 14 yards, and Atkinson has the biggest loss of the night. Unfortunately, he gets tacked with that loss of 23 yards. That led to the Indians' touchdown when he ended up with the ball on the 1-yard line as he fell on it to prevent the Indians from getting that easy touchdown. So with that all being said, you look at the numbers right now. And for Cheyenne Central, again, under 200 yards in the first half, and for Casper Kelly Walsh, just under 150.
Well, again, you look at the stats where you would imagine that this contest would be a lot closer than it stands right now. Again, 28-14 in favor of Cheyenne Central. Again, as we're at halftime, as they put at least 3 more minutes here at half to at least get through the homecoming festivities
the
here.
Ceremonies as you crown the king and queen for homecoming, which is tradition.
But again, as you at least talk about those stats, you would figure this ball game would be a little bit closer in favor of Cheyenne Central, just a tad bit. But again, just a couple of wacky plays here and there again cause a couple of miscues and penalties by Casper Kelly Walsh. And again, at least taking advantage of that is Cheyenne Central. And again, do have the at least 2 touchdown lead here in this contest. And again, I think with what we saw there at that end, that fumble, again, getting points on the board, getting that touchdown, that 2-point conversion for Central, that's going to be loads of momentum for this team. Again, you're talking about a team that looked almost kind of defeated there in that second quarter. That defense that was out there for a long time, getting beat up by that consistent run by Kelly Walsh. You have to imagine that Mike Apodaca and his team got to feel a little bit more confident of what happened, at least right before half, getting those points on the board, extending out that lead, so to speak.
The question is, here in the third quarter, the Indians have to kick off since they elected to receive in the first quarter. Will they kick with the wind at their back, or will they go into the wind on the offensive side? That will be the question that we'll have to figure out what Cheyenne Central will do. Again, at the intermission, as we are getting ready to wrap up the homecoming ceremonies here, 28-14 Cheyenne Central. Casper Kelly Walsh, quarter number 3 coming up in just a little bit. You are listening to high school football on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. We're back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. And don't forget to join us coming up next Friday evening, the Capitol Bowl, as it will be Cheyenne Central Cheyennes from the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. We'll be on there roughly around 5:20, kickoff 6 p.m. And again, you want to talk about a big contest, especially if Central can hold on to win here, along with East winning at present over in Laramie. Both teams are tied. Somebody is going to be dropping from 4th to 5th place. And
it meets the world, at least this upcoming contest, next Friday. But again, we still, for Cheyenne Central, have to focus on this contest again, as they have the 2-touchdown lead. And again, even for Cheyenne East, they can't look at least ahead to next Friday, as again, they are up over Laramie 13-0 there at half in Laramie.
Well, we had wondering what the Indians were going to do, and they're going to kick into the wind, so they're going to kick right away to Boros along with Burkett. And it's a short kick picked up by one of the upbacks, and good field position to start off for KW, as they will have the ball on the 41-yard line, as Tippett did not want to go deep with it and picking it up for the Trojans. It looked like that was Usyk.
It was pretty much
you definitely don't want him touching the football.
Yeah, it was pretty much a line drive there for Cheyenne Central. Again, phenomenal, at least field position, about the 41-yard line of Kelly Walsh here to start out this, at least, second half.
So again, Trenton Walker, the quarterback, as the junior, will have Anderson directly behind him on a 1st down and 10. And they'll go to Anderson off tackle, and he will go nowhere. Matter of fact, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all for Anderson. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Good job on the defensive side. And I'm sure the Indians, they, again, went into the locker room,
it's plain and simple.
Establish what has to be job-wise.
Well, and again, I think it's plain and simple for Coach Apodaca to tell his Indian squad of saying, hey, what did they do majority of that first half? Is run up the middle, run up the gut against you guys, and just anticipate that. I think that's pretty much the game plan here, is anticipate that run straight up the middle by Casper Kelly Walsh.
Caleb Cochran to the near side. It is 2nd down and 10 on the option. Walker pitches it back to Usyk, as he will be driven out of bounds. It looks like at the 45-yard line. We'll say give him 4 on the run. So it'll be 3rd down and 6. As you can hear in the background, Lobatos making the stop for Cheyenne Central. 3rd down and long for the Trojans. Again, ball on the 45-yard line. Need to get to the Indians' 49 for 1st down, as we are just underway here in the second half. Cochran will split out on top. And Usyk also will flank out on top, as it's 3rd down and 6. Walker out of the gun with Anderson right behind him. And a low snap. Back to pass goes Walker. Steps up, throws, got a man. Caught. I do believe that'll be Usyk across the way, as he is dropped at the 44-yard line of Cheyenne Central. So that is a big, big play.
And again, the rare, at least, throw by Casper Kelly Walsh. Central not anticipating that. And again, had the open wide receiver downfield, and an easy 1st down for the Trojans.
So 11 yards on the reception by Usyk, Emery Usyk. So for the Trojans, a fresh set of downs and in Central territory. Ball right now at the 44. In motion is Usyk. This time back to pass goes Walker. Walker in the pocket now being flushed out. Steps up, throws, and incomplete, as he got punished after he threw that football.
Yeah, he felt the pressure, and it hit him as well, too, as he let that ball fly.
Eli Castillo putting the hammer down on Walker, incomplete, so it'll be 2nd down.
So back-to-back, at least, throwing plays by the Trojans. Again, a rarity by this team.
Well, and Walker tried to stay in the pocket as long as he could until he was flushed out, and he had a roll to his right. And then he overshot his receiver, which was the closest receiver was Usyk. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for K-Dub, as they're on the hash mark to the far side. Anderson right behind Walker. Walker about 4 yards deep, and they will go to Anderson. Anderson trying to go off tackle, drags Bullock with him. Nice run by Anderson as he gets over the 40 down to the 39. So that will be a pickup of 5 on the play. So it'll be 3rd down.
Again, that was a tough 5 right there by Casper Kelly Walsh, but getting it done.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Anderson.
It was kind of hard-nosed, just football right there.
Yeah.
Just at least shutting off those tackles to getting that extra yards.
And, the good old-fashioned dive right, dive left, that type of deal. And, again, it'll be third down for the Trojans. Both Usyk is flanked to the near side, and Burkett's to the near side, and Usyk now in motion. They'll give it to Usyk. He will sweep it around, and he will be close to the first down as he turned it up at the 34-yard line. I think he may have it. So I'm going to give him the first down on the 5-yard run.
Looking at the ref's position, it looks like he has that first down.
Unless they're going to call the chain gang. So that's what they're going to do. I think he has it.
I think it's a situation. It might be by the nose of the football for Casper on that play.
And again, too, it's one of those where it's in between the 34-35 and the chains across the way were right in the middle. So that's what I'm thinking. He's got this one. So it should be a fresh set of downs coming up for Casper Kelly Walsh. Another well-sustained drive by K-Dub. They'll stretch it out, and believe it or not, he is short, just short. Oh, my.
By inches.
Oh, I missed that one by a few inches.
So 4th and inches for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, it's simple enough. You go for it on this one.
Yeah, you're going to bring in some big boys in to try to get that first down for you. Just seeing coming on in right now will be Dominic Gray. Also, Phoenix Muskie will check in. He will be your fullback right behind Walker. Key right now is a snap from the center.
As there have been a few low snaps here in this contest by the Trojans.
Ball right now on the 34-yard line. Walker will hand it off to Busky and a whistle, and we had some movement, and I do believe that this one will be against Casper. So what do we got?
I don't think we have a flag at all.
Oh, we don't have a flag. Well, what happened? Why did they blow the play dead?
As it sounds like the chains weren't set, possibly.
So, again, trying to get the play going for Casper Kelly Walsh. They had to shut it down, and now they'll reset. 4th down and short. And the snap is back to Busky straight ahead, and he should have it. Needed to get to the 34. Big pile up.
Yeah, big dog pile there.
And the one official stands on the 34. If it's on the 34, that will be enough for the first down. That's good.
And I do believe that's where they're going to place
it. Wait for the signal.
Yeah, they're going to place it.
No, they're going to call for a measurement. Oh, wow.
Central's confident. They're pointing and saying, hey, it's their football. We'll see.
Wow. That almost looks like the same location last time.
And if it is, that means it is a turnover on downs.
They only needed a few inches. Boy, from this angle here, Nick, it looks like. It depends how they stretch this thing out.
This is going to be very close, but I think it might be Central ball.
And it is. It's the Indians' ball. Busky will stop for no gain. Cheyenne Central will get the football in great field position as the ball right now is on their own 34-yard line. How about that?
A team that makes a living off the run and, again, has been doing at least phenomenal push against the Central High defense. Found a way to not pick up 4th and inches there.
Oh, that front four there, anchored by Tanner Bullock.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically.
The big hosses realized, hey, what was on the line, got it done.
Lundberg, I'm telling you, these guys all came firing through, and they shut down Casper Kelly Walsh on their initial drive here in the third quarter. So can the Indians take advantage of it?
A big confidence boost for that defensive unit. Here comes the offense who, again, just looking to extend out this lead.
And it is anchored by senior quarterback Dawson McClure. He is the only senior out there for Cheyenne Central. Everybody else juniors, and Talich the sophomore. McCleary rolls to his right side, has time, going long, wants it all, and it's going to be caught and dropped. As it's dropped by Johnson. Johnson had it, and it fell out of his hands, incomplete. Well, I'll tell you what,
that close to being a big-time play there for Central.
That covered a lot of yards. And again, to McCleary's credit, throwing that on the run and hit Johnson around it looked like the 25-yard line, and Johnson couldn't gobble it up. So for Cheyenne Central, it's 2nd down and long at the 34-yard line. Nice pass from McCleary. Again, into the wind. Let's give him his kudos on that.
Yeah, those flags again still blowing into the faces of the Central High Indians here. Again, that football was right on the mark, but again, just a couple bobbles, and just like that, again, as we mentioned, 2nd down and 10 for Central.
Empty backfield as McCleary's back to pass, sets up the screen. He's got it. That'll be to Brock Storbo. Storbo will be driven down at the 44-yard line. He is close to a first down. Nice little tight end screen. And for the Indians, they should have the first down.
And they will give it the first down for the Central High Indians. Again, you talk about Brock Storbo again, big body to bring down for any team out there.
And for Brock, that is his 3rd reception of the night. So for the Indians, hash mark to the near side. Indians going right to left across your radio dial. Lobatos behind McCleary. And faking the handoff. A little fire up in that one. They couldn't get into the hands of Storbo. Nice job that time again on the fake to Lobatos, and wide open in the seam was Storbo. Unfortunately, it was a low pass. So 2nd down.
It was almost like a rush pass there by Dawson McCleary.
Yeah, Storbo was wide open, Brock Storbo. So for the Indians, they'll look at a 2nd down and 10. As Brock now will line up as a tight end to the near side. Talich is split to the near side as well. Back to pass goes McCleary under a heavy rush. Steps back, throws, and overshoots Talich, incomplete, as he had Talich open along the sideline in KW territory.
So 3rd down and 10 for the Indians here.
3rd and 10, clock stopped, 8:42 to go on the Pepsi scoreboard here. Quarter number 3, Indians up by 2 scores, 28-14.
As the Indians right now sit on their own 44.
Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti as we are here at Harry Gelding Stadium. Indians again on the hash mark to the near side. As McCleary will have Lobatos behind him on a 3rd down call, and movement by the Indians.
And you saw it immediately again off of that hard count that Central loves to do.
That will be Mark Martinez for the Indians. That's their first penalty of the night, as that moves them back to make it 3rd down and 15. So it makes it even tougher as the ball now resting on the 39-yard line. They got to get to the KW 46-yard line.
And at least for Central High, and again for Coach Mike Apodaca, you know that your receivers, and even again the big guys of the Storbo Twins, they're finding spacing out there against Casper Kelly Walsh. It's just a matter of just getting that ball in their hands, again, without rushing those passes, underthrowing or overthrowing that receiving core.
Let's see what's going to be in the Mike Apodaca playbook. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back with a draw on this one, as McCleary will swing it out, and a little tight end screen as they try to get it out. And let's see who made the catch. It was Johnson made the catch, but it's a very short gain to the 43, 4-yard pass play.
It's going to be about a
4th down and 11.
Yeah, 4th down 11. So punting unit will be out there for Central High.
So a little whiteout screen that couldn't get set up by the Indians, and credit KW for messing things up. So back deep will be Andrew Johnson, the junior for Cheyenne Central. He'll stand back around his 28-yard line, high snap, and he'll boot it away, and the wind just knocks it right down. Holy cow. And the Indians finally will down it, it looks like, at the 39-yard line. So Jared Dilly will down it at the 39. I mean, that thing got into the wind and turned into a knuckleball and just got knocked right down.
Well, we saw that on the PAT earlier by Cheyenne Central, where it took about 5 seconds for that to cross at least the goalpost to at least count as an extra point for Central. And the winds have been very strong this entire day up here in Casper. And again, it is blowing basically straight across this field.
1st down and 10. Casper Kelly Walsh, ball on their own 39-yard line. Looks like Cole Krause now in the backfield as Burkett moves from his wing position on the near side, and then we'll reset. This time they'll go to Krause. Krause over the 40-yard line and down to the 41. So give them 2 on the run, maybe 3. We'll see if it's the 42. They're going to give them 3 on the run.
They're going to give a friendly 3 on that.
So ball right now at the 42-yard line. Needing to get to the 49, so 2nd down and 7.
Good contingent, at least crowd here for Casper Kelly Walsh.
And a good crowd, that made the
Absolutely.
trip up from Cheyenne here to Casper Kelly Walsh from Cheyenne Central. Had a chance to talk with athletic director Chad Whitworth before kickoff this evening. Burkett in motion this time, and on the option, they'll pitch it back to Burkett. He'll turn it up, got a block in front of him. There's a flag down. Burkett down the sidelines, and he will be driven out, but I think this one's going to be coming back. So Burkett will be driven out at the 30, and we're not even going to write anything down because there is a flag down.
Well, we'll see. It might also, too, be against the Central Iowa Indians.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, it does look like Casper Kelly Walsh realizes and will back up.
They will walk this one back, and let's see what the indication is from the official. As he will call the penalty, as he's mentioning the number, it will be a hold against the Trojans. So again, this will be a spot foul back to the 39-yard line. So the flag thrown at the 49-yard line, which would have been a first down. So on the spot foul, it's a 3-yard penalty.
But again, it's a common theme with at least Kelly Walsh. Again, we go back to that South game. What cost him at least a couple times in that at least contest against the Fighting Bison? Again, both teams had a plethora of penalties in that.
And unofficially, I have them down now for 6 penalties on the night. So second down and 11 as Paypal will split out to the near side, and they'll go straight ahead. This time I do believe that's Kraus again. So Kraus will go right back to the 42-yard line, give him 3 on the run, and it will be third down.
I say about 3rd and 7.
Yeah, so third down, and we're right back about where they need to be. Third down, and we'll call it a short 7, just shy of the 43-yard line. 6:40 on the Pepsi scoreboard, winding down here in quarter number 3.
As both offenses here have kind of stalled out.
Yeah, they just are not getting it going right now. This is the second drive of the second half for the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. Walker will put in motion this time. Usyk back to pass. They'll swing it out to Kraus. Kraus to the 45. Another flag is down. He'll be short of the first down. Brought down at the 45. However, there's a flag in the backfield, and it will be against Casper Kelly Walsh. So
we'll see if
the Indians will take that flag because this is 4-down territory. So wipe out the pass play. And another hold against Casper Kelly Walsh. The flag is down at the 37-yard line, so that would be a spot foul.
Back-to-back holding plays by the Trojans. And again, they're going to back them up quite a bit here.
So
going from 3rd and 7 to about, it looks like.
Wow, they're going to mark that back. That will turn into about a 16-yard penalty.
It's pretty much third and Douglas right now for Casper Kelly Walsh after that one.
We'll call it third. We'll say a 15-yard penalty because again that is a spot foul where the flag was at the 37-yard line. So again, they need to get to their own 49. They are now right now on their own 27-yard line. It is third down and dare I say long. Walker again out of the gun, long count, back to pass. Looking long, got a man, incomplete, and we may have an interference. Got a late flag comes in, and this might be against Cheyenne Central. So they were trying to go.
And again, that ball was well at least past the wide receiver there.
They were going for Davis, and they might call the Indians on a pass interference.
We'll see as they discuss it right now.
So right now, the discussion is with Casper Kelly Walsh. This would be the Indians' first penalty. It's a 15-yarder, so basically we're just going to move the football back to where it was originally at the 43. So for the Indians, their second penalty, So they have been marching now for
nice
2 penalties for 20 yards, so it's still third down.
Game of musical chairs right now for these penalties between both teams.
Spotted on the 42, needing to get to the 49. Are the Trojans, as Davis will split to the near side, along with Burkett. Again, empty backfield, out of the gun is Walker. Walker will send Usyk in motion. He'll hand it off to Usyk. Usyk strung out as he will try to turn it up, and then he's driven into the Casper Kelly Walsh bench, and he will be well short of the first down. Let's see where they'll spot him at.
It might be a 4th and 3rd, 4th and 4 situation.
They're going to say he stepped out at the 45. You're right, 4th down and 4. Give Usyk 3 yards on that run as the horn section decides to stand up.
And play the infamous USC at least fights on. Go figure for USC Trojans.
Trojans.
Yeah.
So the offensive unit still on the field. This, again, if it works, it's good.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then you give the Indians a very short field.
Yeah, very good positioning here. We'll see what happens.
4th down and 4 as Walker, low snap, straight ahead to go to Kraus. Kraus breaks off one tackle. He's dropped just shy of the 49, and I don't know. There was a nice run off tackle by Cole Kraus. However, it's up to the officials, and again, guess what? The infamous chain gang will come across the way.
Yeah, might as well get it right. So at least before handing, the ball over to Central or either giving Kelly Walsh the first down, as it looks like we have a bit of a sprinkle going on here at Casper Kelly Walsh.
Yes. At least we don't have the lightning delay going on.
Now you've said something.
I know. I should have kept my big mouth shut. We've had enough of our lightning delays this year. They're going to stretch out the chains, and he's got it. So just enough, half of the football for Cole Kraus as he stretched out the 4 yards, and a fresh set of downs with the clock right now resting at the 6-minute mark and the ball on the KW 49-yard line. First down and 10.
It's certainly been for a third quarter gone very slow.
Very slow, yeah.
Especially with the amount of penalties that both teams have been at least racking up here in this quarter.
Kraus will remain in the backfield. Again, on the wings will be Usyk out on top, and to the near side is Burkett. And this time they'll give it off to Burkett. Burkett sweeps to the outside. Try to turn it up. He does so. Midfield and driven out of bounds. Looks like on the Central 42-yard line. So that will be 9 yards on the gain. If they give him the 42, actually the 41, that would be almost enough for the first down. It is a first down, 10 yards on the run. So Burkett puts the Trojans now in Central Territory. Ball on the hash mark to the far side. First down and 10 for Casper Kelly Walsh, trailing 28-14. Under 6 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. In motion was Usyk. And now it looks like a busted play, and Walker's going to have to keep it himself, and he'll be driven down hard. Nice job by Johnson. Johnson grabs him at the 39-yard line, so a pickup of 2 on the play by Walker.
Good read there by the Central High defense, seeing that, and again, taking advantage. But again, for the slight gain for Casper Kelly Walsh, it would be about 2nd and 8.
I actually think that was a busted play. I don't think that was one that Walker wanted there. And as he just took it outside, Andrew Johnson was spying him all the way and grabbed him for the short gain. So it's 2nd down and 8 with the ball right now on the 39-yard line of Cheyenne Central. Walker will have Burkett in motion, and this time it'll be on the option this time to Burkett. Burkett strung out again, gets outside and turns it up, and may have the first down again. Nice run by Burkett.
I think he should have that first down looking at least across that sideline.
Well, let's see officially where they spot it at.
It might be just short.
Just short. It's at the 31-yard line, so give him a pickup of 7 on the play.
But again, a short at least 3rd and 1.
Yeah, very short right now. So they're going to call this 3rd down and 1 for K-Dub. And it'll be an empty backfield. So almost like a free play, basically, for Casper Kelly Walsh. No, they'll go and get the first down right now, break in 1 tackle for the Trojans is Buski. He will be brought down after a gain of, give him 1.
I don't know if they'll give him that 1 right now.
No indication yet.
No, it looks like we're going to get another measurement.
I'm going to give him the 1. I think he has it.
Yes, we will get another measurement here.
This is our, fourth or fifth measurement we've had tonight. So
at least they're keeping.
It's
they're
to the near side.
Yeah.
I mean to the far side. So the chain gang don't have too far to run.
If anything, the refs are trying to keep this game accurate on the at least on the spot. So
it's real short. It's a couple inches short. So it'll be fourth down. And again, here's a very important call by the Trojans, who have kept the Central Indians defense on the field for a long time.
But we go back to this fourth down play, again, where it was the same situation, 4th and inches, where Central, that defensive unit, found a way to stop Kelly Walsh, and again, got that turnover on downs. See if Indians can do it again here.
So Busky will be behind Walker. Again, operating out of the gun. This is kind of a dangerous situation. In motion this time is Burkett. Then he will go back and line up on his wing position on the near side. They'll hand it off to Anderson. Anderson comes in with the first down and more. Anderson down to the 28-yard line, and it'll be a pickup of 4, first down and 10 for Casper Kelly Walsh. Great drive here by the Trojans, and time-consuming.
Yeah, slow and methodical here for Casper Kelly Walsh again, as they are in Central High territory again, looking to at least cut down this deficit to make it at least single score.
So for K-Dub, ball right now just shy. Actually, they're going to give him the 27-yard line. So for Anderson, we'll give him 5 on that last run. First down, hash mark on the far side, as Anderson will be behind. As he will be in the fullback position. They'll fake the handoff to Usyk, back to pass, look in, and it's caught by Graham. Graham may take it to the house. He does. Touchdown. So touchdown for Zion Graham, and that will cover 27 yards. Trying to go for the interception was the Indians, and unfortunately not the case. 27-yard touchdown from Trent Walker to Graham.
Again, Central reading run the entire time, not anticipating the pass. Wide open at least down the seam. Kelly Walsh again gets up on, at least back up on the board. Again, now down by 8 points against the Central High Indians.
Atkinson will attempt the PAT out of the Walker hold. Snap is back, placement is down, kick through the uprights. It's good. 28-21. 3:27 left to go here in period number 3. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Still a lot of football left here at Harry Gilding Stadium. 28-21, that is the score. Nice pass from Walker as he hit Graham as the Indians went for the INT. Unfortunately, and again, if it would have happened, it would have been a pick 6, but unfortunately for the Indians, they come up short. Graham takes it to the house, 27 yards, touchdown.
Do have a quick scoreboard update. Cheyenne East and Laramie leads the Plainsmen 19-0. That is in the 4th quarter. Again, every other score still at half as our readings. And for Natrona and Thunder Basin, they should be underway outside of that lightning delay.
Back deep for Cheyenne Central, and they're going to kick it away, and it will go out of bounds. Oh, and Central will come away with good field position. First time we didn't see Talich back there. We saw Uriah Furrow instead. I hope Talich is not hurt.
Again, did not see anyone over there, at least getting worked out or anyone sitting on the bench there for Cheyenne Central. So,
well, Central will get the football in good field position. It'll be at the 35-yard line. In high school, they moved to the 35. So for Cheyenne Central, there is Talich, so he is coming back onto the field. And he will be split to the near side. Labatos behind McCleary on a first down and 10 call. Ball on the 35. McCleary will give it off to Labatos. Labatos breaks one tackle, 40-yard line, 41. Nice job by Carlos Labatos as we'll give him 5 on the run to the 40. That's what they need right away, is something good to happen and answer back on. That was his 12th carry, by the way.
And again, for Central establishing that run game once again with Labatos, at least got him at least good fortunes there early in this contest. Again, you need to get that back in part of your arsenal here.
3-minute mark, quarter number 3, as the Indians have the football on their own 40-yard line. Again to Labatos. Labatos goes off tackle. First down, 5 yards more, as Labatos bangs out a couple of 5-yard runs, and the Indians will have it first down at 10, spotted on their own 45. So the ball right now, first down at 10, as the Indians will operate with a fresh set of downs. Again, Talich split to the near side. Out on top are trips, both the Storbos along with Andrew Johnson. As McCleary now will check off, reset the play, and we'll get everybody all set up on the first down call. Indians, Labatos again. Labatos bunched up, tried to come back to that third straight hit right there in the middle of the line, and he went nowhere. He bounced for no gain, and it'll be second down at 10. 28-21 our score, as the Trojans scored a touchdown here most recently on a 21-yard strike. Again, the Indians were going into a very stiff breeze right now and kind of foregoing the pass.
And they will for the next 2:05 remaining here in the third quarter.
As McCleary will send Brady Starborough in motion to the near side. And rolling out is McCleary, and try to throw it off his back foot, incomplete. Try to go for Storbo, and that will be incomplete as he tried to hook up, I do believe, was with Brock.
And I do believe
or Brady Storbo.
Yeah, I do believe with Proietti, again, not even realizing the pass was intended for him, well behind him. It almost was a rush play, once again, by Dawson McCleary.
Well, you didn't get a chance to finish the pattern as he was trying to, do a sideline pattern. And it's third down and 10 for Cheyenne Central with the ball right now on their own 45-yard line. McCleary back to pass. Steps up, throws, and overshoots again. Brady Storbo incomplete, and it will be fourth down for the Indians. Stops the clock with $1:51 to go here in quarter number 4, and the punting unit led by Andrew Johnson, the junior, will come back out onto the field.
This is definitely a different Central High team that we saw compared to last Friday against Laramie there in Cheyenne. Again, Central having all sorts of difficulties, that offensive line not getting the push, and also to the protection of what we saw against the Plainsmen last Friday.
Back deep will be Davis along with Spillane, and they should come away with good field position again. High snap, and Johnson gets it away. This time keeps it low. That's a good job by Johnson, and it will trickle out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 24-yard line. Nice punt by Johnson, and again kept it low, and the Indians got down to down it, so no further difficulty by anyone returning it. So Kelly Walsh will have the football on their own 24-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. So again, a lot of time left here to go in the quarter, as Walker will bring them up first down and 10. And he's got an empty backfield. In motion is Kraus, and they'll go to Kraus. Kraus goes nowhere. Tanner Bullock. He ran right into Bullock along with Lundberg back at the 20-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play. That was huge, Nick.
Without a doubt. Again, defense for Cheyenne Central reading that play the entire way, getting the loss for Casper Kelly Walsh, and we'll back him up about 2nd and 12 here upcoming for the Trojans.
So a loss of 3 on the play, so it'll be second down 13 as we are winding down here in the third quarter. Indians holding on to a touchdown lead. Graham is split out on top on the far side.
Right now how Casper Kelly Walsh is playing, Central is grasping on desperately to this lead.
Burkett again in motion, then will go back to his wing position on the near side. And they will give it off to Kraus. Kraus this time will get back the yards he lost up to the 25-yard line. So we'll give him 4 on the run. It'll be third down and long, third and 9.
As we have about 45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
So for the Indians, they need the defensive stop right now too, and hopefully get that ball back. If they can get this stop, Nick, I would call a timeout and force them on fourth down to punt. Actually, no, you want them to punt it.
Yeah, you want them to punt into the wind. Yeah, you do not want that advantage for Casper.
You would probably want their coach to call the timeout, right? Yeah. You would want McKelkey to call the timeout. 3rd down and long, and back to pass goes Walker under heavy rush and throws it away. Incomplete, and that stops the clock with 12 seconds. So they will have to putt with the wind behind them on 4th down. So
something
either
that
way,
Coach Apodaca didn't want here, but
yeah.
Either way, again, the ball will return to the Central High Indians. Great effort by the defense there by Cheyenne Central.
They're going to need to drop back here and get back deep. Johnson will have to retreat back. I do believe Talich will join. Atkinson will possibly boot it away. Let's see who else is back there with him.
And again, go back to what happened earlier in this contest, the high snap that resulted in down at the one.
Now this time they'll boot it away and off the side of the foot. Oh my! And the Indians are going to get great field position. Holy cow! To the 41-yard line.
So even with the benefit of the wind behind them, shanks that punt and great at least field position for the Indians with 6 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
So for the Indians, they on the bad punt will have the ball with about 6 seconds left to go in the period on the 41-yard line of Casper Kelly Walsh. So that punt, we're talking right there, 16 yards officially.
And again, even with the heavy breeze behind them, where that should have gone well deep into Central Territory. Instead, now the Indians have a phenomenal, at least starting point here for this offensive unit.
They'll get one play underway here in this quarter, and then they will switch sides as McCleary will bring them up 1st down and 10. Ball on the 41-yard line of KW, hash mark to the near side. McCleary will send Johnson in motion. He'll pitch it back to Johnson. Johnson gets a block from Lobatos, turns it up, and he will be tripped up down at the 36-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 5 on the play as we will switch sides after 3 periods of play. Indians 28, Trojans 21. We're back for the final 12 minutes after we take a 60-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. High school football in 1480, KRAE, Cheyenne, Larry Proietti, Nick Proietti, live from Harry Gelding Stadium. Quarter number 4 as the Indians have the football as they are in KW territory at the 36 after a shanked punt. And for the Indians, they look at a 2nd down and 5 as we get things underway here in quarter number 4. McCleary out of the gun. And back to pass. He steps, he throws, he's got a man. That's one of the Storbos, and that would be Brock Storbo. Storbo will drag a couple of defenders down to the 26-yard line, 10 yards on the gain for the Indians. Well, let's see where they officially spot it. So it'll be at the 26. So it's 1st down and 10. Nice grab by Brock Storbo. And they'll hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos, he busts through down to the 21-yard line, so give him 5 on the run as well.
So a sign of life right here by the Indians offensive unit. Right now being able to drive against this Kelly Walsh defense, getting closer to at least red zone territory.
Yeah, ball right now on the 21-yard line as McCleary again back into the gun. And we'll hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos tripped up. Oh, and I mean, that was a saving tackle right there because Lobatos was getting started. And it looked like Dominic Gray, the junior, making a big stop right there as Lobatos will take it inside the red zone. He'll get 2 on the play. So it'll be 3rd down for the Indians.
3rd and 3.
McCleary And there will be a flag against Central. Central took off too early. It looked like both Talich and I want to say Brady Storbo took off on the far side a little early. 3rd down and 8.
So instead of 3rd and 3, 3rd down and 8, due to, again, Cheyenne Central that loves to use the hard count. Again, cost them once again.
We're just underway in quarter number 4 as the Indians with great field position to start things off. A ball right now back at the 23. If we're looking at a field goal from Tippett, you know, we're looking at right now about a 40-yarder if that be the case with the wind behind him.
And we saw him earlier in this contest hit about a 60-yard field goal with the wind behind him.
3rd down for the Indians. In motion will be Brady Storbo. Back to pass goes McCleary. McCleary steps up. He wants it all. Going long, and it'll be incomplete as he overshoots, I do believe it was Johnson, in the back of the end zone. So for the Indians, 4th down and 8. Do you send in Tippett? And I think they're going to go with Tippett.
I think without a doubt.
Johnson is your holder. So, again, a very, very capable holder for Tippett. And Teagan right now going to be asked to put one through at least 40 yards.
And again, as I just mentioned, we saw him in pregame warm-ups hitting 60-yard field goals with his win. So he knows he has the confidence, he has a leg that this can be a great possibility.
So again, a little breeze, well, I should say a little breeze, a pretty good-sized breeze behind him. As the Johnson checks back with Tippett. Snap is back, placement is down. Kick is long enough, and it is good. 40 yards for Teagan Tippett, and the Indians extend their lead to 31-21. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Talk about high pressure there for the Indians. Again, the snapper, Johnson putting it down, and Tippett's drilling it through the uprights. And the Indians up by a 10-point margin, 31-21, as Tippett's now will have it teed up, and hopefully he can put this thing into the end zone.
That's it.
We definitely don't want to see these guys returning the football. I see Burkett is back there deep, and the kick is end over end, and that will fly over Burkett's head, 5 yards deep in the end zone, and it will be ball on the 20-yard line for Casper Kelly Walsh.
And for Cheyenne Central at this point, again, at least two score advantage over Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, 10-23 remaining here in this contest.
Well, right now, I think if anything is important, like the last time that the Indians were out there defensively, they need another stand right now because the offense has had a little bit of difficulty here in the second half. Give them another chance and see if they can extend that lead. So right now, defensively, the Indians need a big stop as they will face this Casper Kelly Walsh option offense. Empty backfield for Walker on a 1st down and 10. This time he'll give it off to Burkett. Burkett sweeps to the outside, gets away from one would-be tackler, and then he'll be dropped for a loss. Big loss by the Indians, and bringing down, it was Ethan Wilkins on the stop for Cheyenne Central. So that will be an 8-yard loss. They're going to say the ball is on the 12-yard line, so an 8-yard loss for Burkett.
So again, great read by the Central High defense on that play, again, getting that tackle for loss.
That's a huge advantage for Cheyenne Central. Again, 2nd down, 18 now for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, empty backfield as Walker barks out the signals. And in motion this day, he fakes the handoff to Usyk. Back to pass. He throws it up in the air and incomplete. Crossed the way. He was trying to hook up with Graham again. It would have been a short gain if Graham would have caught it, but it'll be incomplete. 3rd down and long.
Now 3rd and 18 from their own 12 for the Trojans here.
So if the Indians, again, one more defensive stop, and they'll get the football back with the ball right now on the 12. Needing to get to the 30 are the Trojans. 3rd down and long, 18. Splitting to the near side for Casper Kelly Walsh. That looks like that's Cockrum. And Graham out on top. Again, another empty backfield behind Walker. Walker on a long count, and he's back to pass. Has time. Steps up, throws over the middle. Got a man. Is it caught? And it'll be caught by Emery Usick. As Usick makes the grab, and that will be caught at the 31-yard line, 32-yard line. Give him on that play 20 yards on the reception.
Again, good enough for the first down for the Trojans.
Usick with 2 receptions here in this half for 37 yards. So it is now first down and 10, a little breathing room for Casper Kelly Walsh as the ball is spotted on their own 32-yard line. Kraus in the backfield now behind Walker, and he will take the football. Kraus bottled up as he struggles to the 34 and a gain of 2 on the play. Second down and 8 as we come up on the 9-minute mark for the Indians and the Trojans here at Harry Gelding Stadium. Again, the Indians, they have a date with the Thunderbirds coming up next week, Capital Bowl.
They still got a lot of this contest still at least to focus on before next Friday again, as they still hold at least a 10-point lead against Kelly Walsh.
Graham
Kelly
on
Walsh
top, Cochran to the near side. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you here.
Does have the football.
Usick in motion. He will take the football. He's strung outside. He'll turn it up. He's got some jets. He'll be short of the first down. And let's see where he was driven out at. It looks like shy of the 40-yard line, so it'll be third down and long. It looks like third down at the 38-yard line. They need to get to the almost the 43. So give them about 4 yards on that run.
I'll say about third down and about 5, if not 6, for Casper Kelly Walsh.
It's a long 5. You're absolutely right. Graham will come to the near side. 4K Dub. Empty backfield this time. Anderson now will flank to the near side along with the Usick. Now he will come in motion, and we have a whistle.
We got a flag thrown.
A delay of game against the Trojans. That is huge. So Kelly Walsh will be flagged again on the penalty.
Another costly penalty for the Trojans.
8 penalties on the night for Casper Kelly Walsh. And that will march him back to the 32. Again, needing to get about the 33. They need to get to the 43. Third down and long. Anderson in the backfield. Back to pass. They'll swing it out to Anderson. Anderson cuts back, but it's going to be a very short gain to the 35, and that will be a fourth down call. So,
yeah, about a 4th down and 7 for Casper Kelly Walsh.
Yeah, about a 3-yard pass play there.
And if they do elect to punt, again, they are punting into a very strong breeze in their face.
Well, again, you can't take anything for granted here. So Davis will come in, Cochran will come in, Atkinson checks in also for the Trojans. As we'll see if they are going to boot it away again.
And it looks like they will.
Well, for now.
Well, for now.
4th down and 7. Ball on the 35-yard line as they will not snap it back. They're going to throw a pass and incomplete. And a penalty against Cheyenne Central. It'll be a pass interference, and it's going to be on Wilkins.
Yeah, not a smart play there by the Central High defender.
So for the Indians, the pass wasn't even close. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty. And that is going to move the football to midfield. So the Trojans right now at the midfield stripe, first down and 10. Oh, my. Indians would have got the football back. Great field position.
And again, that's why we hesitated on that punt attempt by Kelly Walsh. We've seen him run that trick play before. And again, it worked.
We saw Atkinson splitting and was going out, but it wasn't him on the pass. Walker this time will pitch it back. It is time to Burkett. Burkett down the sideline, skips out at the 46-yard line to pick up 4 yards, and it'll be second down and 6. Still a lot of game left, 7:35. However, for this offense, again, the ever lovely 3 yards in a cloud of dust, you can't. You're losing valuable seconds right now too. They need to get in the end zone quickly.
Without a doubt, it is. The Trojans again down by 10 points here as Cheyenne Central leads 31-21.
Kraus was lined up behind Walker. Now he will flank to the near side. Now we'll come back in motion, back to his fullback position, and they'll fake the handoff. Walker pitches it back. Bad pitch, but Burkett saved it. And that was a nice job by the halfback as Burkett takes it to the 43-yard line.
Almost another costly turnover there by the Trojans.
Give them on the play 2 yards, and that was huge for the Casper Walsh Trojan because that would have been disastrous there. High pitch by Walker, and it's 3rd down and 4 for K-Dub.
Big stop here needed by that Central High defense.
7-minute mark and winding down on the Pepsi scoreboard. Indians lead 31-21. Walker again operating out of the gun. Anderson behind him. Burkett. And we're going to have a whistle and a timeout. Looks like timeout called by Aaron McKelkey and the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. 6:49 remaining in this contest. Indians 31, Trojans 21. Back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. We have one final in Class 4A as Sheridan has shut out Cheyenne South. Final score 56-0 at Homer Scott Field. So for the South High Fighting Bison, again, they remain winless for the season. East was leading last we saw and leading rather handily in Laramie. 3rd down for Casper Kelly Walsh. Walker, this time to Anderson. Anderson straight and breaks through to the 30-yard line and down at the 27 of Cheyenne Central. That is a huge run right there by Anderson. So Anderson picking up 17 on the run.
I think plain and simple what you're seeing right now is this Central High defense after, again, what they thought was just going to be a punt by Kelly Walsh. Again, that penalty, the pass interference. Again, this now defensive unit has been out there for quite some time. They're pretty much gassed.
Ball right now on the 27-yard line. Graham will split out on top. Cockrum to the near side. Again, Anderson in the backfield along with Walker as they operate out of the gun. And they'll go again to Anderson. Anderson off tackle, still on his feet, churning. And he fumbles it, and Central has it. The Central Indians recover the fumble, and picking it up is Carter Lobatos. So the Indians will get the football back on the 22-yard line.
It just like that, change of fortunes for that defensive unit again, having that opportunity again, a much-needed break.
Spotted on the 23 for Cheyenne Central.
Huge play there for Cheyenne Central. Again, as they have the 10-point lead, 6:38 remaining in this contest.
And Anderson was, fighting for that extra yardage as he went off tackle. And the ball squirted through and picked up by Lobatos at the 23. So the Indians with the football, chance for them to hopefully burn some clock and try to put this thing, at least seal this game away. It's still, in doubt to a certain degree. Talich will split to the near side. Indians going left to right across your radio dial as well as your live stream. McCleary out of the gun. Back to pass. He steps up. He wants it all. He's got a man, and it's caught. Crossed away. Andrew Johnson making a big grab at the 49-yard line. 26 yards on that aerial.
Again, Johnson on that same play earlier in this contest, at least was the infamous bobble that he at least missed on and had all that green grass in front of him. But this time around, gets away with that reception.
4th reception for Johnson from McCleary tonight. And the Indians right now with the ball on the 49-yard line of Cheyenne Central. First down at 10, 6:20. And winding down to the Pepsi scoreboard, Indians up by 10. Looking for their 4th consecutive win here in the 2019 Gridiron campaign. Kelly Walsh came into the contest. They're 1-4. It's homecoming here in Casper tonight. 31-21 our score, and McCleary hands it off to Labatos. Labatos again goes just crashing through the middle of the defense of Casper Kelly Walsh down to the 44-yard line. That is a huge run right there to the 7-yard run there by Carter Labatos.
As Central is in Trojan territory, 5:40 left here in this contest.
17th carry for Carter Labatos this evening. And I guarantee you he has over 100 yards.
I would absolutely believe that of the effort he's been putting, at least here in tonight's game.
Storbos, along with Johnson to the near side. Talich out on top. Back to pass. They'll go to Talich. Talich makes the grab. First down.
However, there's a flag down.
And the flag will be whistled against Cheyenne Central. And that will be their 4th whistle of the night.
It looks like it will be a false start against the Indians that will back them up here.
So for Cheyenne Central, after getting the first down, it backs them to the 49-yard line of K-Dub. So 2nd down and long, 2nd and 8, as they'll start winding down the clock here with 5:20 to go. The Indians will re-huddle.
Again, no rush here for Central. Obviously, you want to kill as much time off of the clock as you can.
For Talich, that would have been his first catch of the night, and that would have been a perfect time to catch one. It would have been a first down. So again, splitting to the near side are both Brock and Brady Storbo, along with Johnson. Talich out on top. Back to pass goes McCleary. He's steps up, throws, got a man. That is Labatos. Labatos coming out of the backfield, makes the catch along the sidelines of the far side to the 20 to 35-yard line. That'll be more than enough for the first down. 14 yards on that reception.
And hopefully after the conclusion of tonight's game between these two, and again, able to talk with Coach Mike Apodaca, hopefully we'll talk with at least Carlos Labatos. Again, he's got to be the MVP for Cheyenne Central, again, both offense and defense here tonight.
So for Carter, as he makes the grab, it'll be first down and 10 at the 35-yard line of Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, the Indians taking their time right now as they look across the way, getting the offensive signal in. Under 4:30 to go on the Pepsi scoreboard. Hash mark to the far side as McCleary brings them up first down and 10. Snap is back. On the delayed draw, they give it off to Labatos. Labatos breaks one tackle, still on his feet. Down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, maybe the 29. We'll give them 6 on the run, and it will be 2nd down and 4 for Cheyenne Central. I would think now, and again, too, you never can guess with Mike Apodaca, but you would think you're going to get a steady diet of Carter Labatos now.
Just kind of run up the gut. Hopefully that offensive line can open up some spacing for Labatos and just wind down this clock. As it 3:45 left here in this contest.
Indians in no hurry right now as they step up to the line of scrimmage on a 2nd down call. Brock Storbo also in the backfield now. And they'll hand it off to Labatos. Labatos gets a block from Storbo, and he'll have the first down. Takes it inside the 25, down to the 24. So give him a gain of 4 on the play. So for the Indians, another first down as the ball rests on the 24-yard line of Casper Kelly Walsh. And again, the Indians, no hurry to come up to the line of scrimmage.
And I do believe for Casper Kelly Walsh, if I stand corrected, I do believe 2 timeouts left remaining for Aaron McKelkey.
Mm-hmm. And the Indians have their full complement of 3. So we come up on the 3-minute mark as the Indians again with Storbo and Labatos. Labatos takes the pitch, trying to turn it up, and he will be dropped after a short gain, maybe 2 on the play. For Carter, that is his 20th carry of the night.
And I do believe we have a timeout called by, I do believe, Cheyenne Central. Actually, excuse me, against for Kelly Walsh.
So Kelly Walsh calls a timeout with 2:47 to go. And it'll be 2nd down and 7 when we come back. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. It'll be about second down. We'll call it a long 7 for the Indians with the ball resting on the Casper Kelly Walsh 22-yard line.
Yeah, just knocking on that red zone right now. But the main focus for Coach Apodaca with a 10-point lead is pretty much just get this clock at least done as they've added seconds back onto the clock. 2:52 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
So the Indians again on the hash mark to the far side as Dawson McCleary will send Brady Stover in motion. Far side to the near side. McCleary rolling to his right, steps, throws, got a man. And that is caught. And let's see who made that grab. That would be one Brock Storbo. Storbo makes the grab at the 14-yard line. That should be enough for the first down.
I think without a doubt, as you see the chains at least moving right now.
That is an 8-yard pass play that will, again, give the Indians a fresh set of downs and more tick, tick, tick off the clock.
As soon as they set up those, at least first down markers.
So the ball resting on the 14, clock starts winding down. That was, again, another key pass play by the Indians. Again, Storbo finding himself free in the middle, and McCleary fired a bullet. So again, Indians in no hurry right now.
And 2:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Again, 10-point lead for Central High. Again, as they are on the Kelly Walsh 14.
Johnson splits in the near side. Labatos will retreat behind McCleary. And a handoff to Carter. Carter breaks one tackle inside the 5-yard line. He's down to the 3. That's an 11-yard gain by Carter Labatos. That is run number 21 for Carter tonight.
Again, who is, in my opinion, been the MVP for the Central High Indians, again, on offense and defense. He's been phenomenal on both sides of the ball for Coach Mike Apodaca.
So first down and goal for Cheyenne Central as we are under 2 minutes to play. This one would definitely put the nail in the coffin for Casper Kelly Walsh. And you got 4 downs to get Carter Labatos to punch it in. Double tight end set by the Indians. Underneath center is McCleary. McCleary will keep it himself straight ahead. And is he in? We haven't seen a signal yet. Touchdown! Dawson McCleary sneaks it in from 3 yards, and the Indians extend the lead to 37-21.
And that is the nail in the coffin for this contest, where it is now definitive that the Central High Indians come away with a victory here in a close one against Casper Kelly Walsh. But however, minute 36 remaining, as Central does lead this contest now 37-21.
And for the Indians, Tippett will be on to attempt the PAT out of the hole of Johnson with $1:36 to go. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick is high enough.
Yeah,
and
actually,
hold everything. There's a whistle.
Yeah, they whistle the play dead. It looks like I see a flag.
And let's see what the flag is all about. Offside on Casper Kelly Walsh.
So just make it that much more easier for the PAT.
Yeah, they'll move it up a yard. So instead of from the 2.5 to the 1.5, and now Johnson will rest at the 9-yard line. And Tippett will try to put it through again.
So essentially not a chip shot anymore from the fringe.
Snap is back, high snap, and Tippett lines it through, and good. Central 38, Casper Kelly Walsh 21. We're back after this 60-second timeout of 1480 KRAE. The booted away for Cheyenne Central, and that one will go right into the end zone once again as the Indians will keep the Kelly Walsh Trojans back deep in their own territory at the 20-yard line.
Do want to take this opportunity to give you a quick 4A scoreboard update across the state of Wyoming. Still in the fourth quarter in Rock Springs, the Tigers lead the Campbell County Camels 28-7. Down in Laramie, the East High Thunderbirds going to at least walk away with their fourth victory of the season. They're up 33, actually fifth win of the season, 33-0 over Laramie Plains.
You're right. Fourth.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I was correct on that one. Yes. So they're leading Laramie 33-0. That's in the fourth. Final in Sheridan, the Bronx defeat the Cheyenne South, at least Fighting Bison, 56-0.
Walker back to pass, and he'll swing it on out. He's got a man. That will be Kraus. Kraus will be dropped at the 23-yard line, so a 3-yard gain. That's not going to get it done.
So with that being said, though, again, we know this is pretty much definitive that Central is going to come away with their fourth victory as well, too. So with East getting the victory, Central as well getting the victory here tonight. 4-2 for both teams. Again, a nice matchup for next Friday here on 1480 KRAE.
Yeah, fourth win in a row for the Indians, oh, by the way. Walker on the second down and 7. He's back to pass and throws that one in the dirt, incomplete. So you try to hook up Cochran that time.
With 59 seconds remaining in this contest.
So that one will make it third down and 7 with under a minute to play. 59 seconds exactly on the Pepsi scoreboard.
And do want to mention as well, too, in Class 4A up in Gillette between Thunder Basin and Trowa County last we saw it was still scoreless in the first quarter in that contest.
As they were through a lengthy lightning today. Lofting one up and complete by Walker, and making the grab was Kaufman. Kaufman getting the first down at the 32.
Which will stop the clock at 55 seconds here.
Results of the play are Kelly Walsh first down.
As he will make the grab. First down and 10, ball on the 32-yard line. Back to pass, Walker, and that one is drilled into the turf as he was also knocked down by, it looked like Kostaleski for Cheyenne Central.
And for Casper Kelly Walsh, with this loss, they're going to fall to 1-5 on the 2019 campaign. Again, as we mentioned, Cheyenne Central will have their fourth win in a row and be 4-2 overall.
Walker, who's thrown the football 14 times tonight, will air it again for the 15th time, and he hits Cochran. As Cochran will be out of bounds at the 41. That'll be shy of the first down by a couple of yards. So 8 yards on the catch.
And short little out routes right here. Again, getting at least advantage of out of bounds. Stopping the clock, 48 seconds remaining.
Third down and a long 2 for Casper Kelly Walsh. As Walker is back to pass. He steps up, throws, got another out pattern, and that is caught by Kaufman.
It'll be another first down for Casper Kelly Walsh.
As he will catch it at the 48-yard line. So give him about 5 yards on the catch. We'll give him actually 6 yards. Kaufman now with a couple of receptions on the night. First down and 10. Back to pass goes Walker. He steps, he throws, he's got Cochran, and he will be driven out at the central 48-yard line. And to pick up a 4 on the pass play.
It's almost like if Kelly Walsh at least put out this playbook early in this contest, they might at least be tied or if not have the lead of how well this has been able to drive.
This is not their game, though, Nick.
This is very true. Again, at this point, you're pretty much expanding the playbook and just trying out new things.
If they got to throw more than 10 times, then they're losing. Walker on a second down and 6 is back to pass. Now he'll roll to his right side under a heavy rush and dumps it off. And it's intercepted. Intercepted across the way. And let's see who got the I think it was Carter Labatos. Labatos will pick it off at midfield. And it's now victory formation time for the Central Indians. So Labatos gets the INT and will put a fork in Casper Kelly Walsh. 38-21, and that'll pretty much send everybody home.
It was a scare out here for Cheyenne Central against this Kelly Walsh team, where we thought this was going to be well in hand for the Central High Indians. But again, Kelly Walsh giving Central all the run for their money in this contest.
It was a battle. There's no doubt about it. This was a battle. And the Indians, most importantly, though, pick up the win on the road, Nick. I think, if anything, if you get one on the road, that's what it's all about. McClary fall on ball on one as he will take a knee. So the Indians will get that opportunity to match up with Cheyenne East. And again, you know, in a few years, this game is going to mean something at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. So like you said before, it's going to be all about seeding, and the winner is going to come away with that fourth spot in that top four. And for the loser, it's going to be, they'll be solidified at number 5. But it's going to be tough to crack that top 4 with the loss next week. So the Indians and T-Birds, they will hook up at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. We will have that for you coming up next Friday evening. Our pregame around 5:20, kickoff around 6 o'clock. Here it's a final score at Harry Gelding Stadium. Central 38, Casper Kelly Walsh 21. We'll be back with our postgame show after this 2-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE. Well, Nick, the Indians led at the intermission 28-21. 28-14. In the third quarter, though, it was Casper Kelly Walsh coming back and getting a touchdown at the 3:27 mark on a 27-yard touchdown pass. Graham from Walker and the Atkinson PAT made things a little nervous up here. 28-21.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, Casper Kelly Walsh, as I mentioned before, heading into the at least our commercial break. Trojans gave the Central High Indians a run for their money in this contest, where, again, in our at least opinion of watching what Indians have been able to do, Casper Kelly Walsh struggling this season. Again, only one win so far in 2019, again, against Cheyenne South that we had. Anticipated that this was going to be more lopsided in favor of Cheyenne Central, but give credit, Kelly Walsh, Trojans team here. They gave they put their heart and soul in this contest and gave Central a run for their money.
You know, on an off night offensively per se for Cheyenne Central, in the fourth quarter they got a big field goal. And I think that was the one that really kind of made it tough on Casper Kelly Walsh. So they knew they were 10 down. They were basically 2 scores back. And as Tippett hit a 40-yard field goal, and again, we watched him in warm-ups. He was hitting from as far as 60 yards with the wind behind him. And that was the good news for the Indians. They had the wind behind them in the fourth quarter. So Tippett hits a 40-yard field goal out of the Johnson hold, and it was 31-21. And then most recently, with about $1:36 to go, Dawson McCleary took it the rest of the way from 3 yards out. A good sustained drive by the Indians, took some time off the clock as he put it through, for 3 yards out, and the Tippett's PAT made it 38-21. But like you said, it was a hard-fought contest this evening by Cheyenne Central on a night.
It was plain and simple. It was a nice road test for Cheyenne Central. You got it done traveling up here again, braving the elements as well too of the winds and just the at least kind of bitter cold that is at least swept across Casper here. But you got it done. You took advantage of a team that had a lot of emotions here again with homecoming, what it meant out here to the Kelly Walsh Trojans and this fan base. But you stuck to your playbook. You didn't let any of that affect you, and you found a way to win this contest. And, again, now 4 wins in a row for Cheyenne Central in this Indians squad where, again, we set up for the big matchup coming up at least next Friday.
Well, and again, too, on a night where Dawson McCleary was only 12 of 20. 60%. I mean, I say only, but, it seemed like it was an off night for McCleary. But, again, he goes 12 of 20. He hit Andrew Johnson 4 times for 59 yards. Brock Storbo had 5 catches for 52. Brady had 2 for 38 yards. And Lobatos had the other aerial for 14 yards. Speaking of Carter Lobatos, again, what can you say about this young man who toted the football 21 times for 115 yards. So, again, another 100-yard night for Carter Lobatos. Big doings for Cheyenne Central.
And you look outside of the offense of what he did. Again, last play there, at least on the defensive side, getting the INT. But I do believe fumble recovery as well, too, for Lobatos. Guy, again, multiple tackles for him. Both sides of the ball. Carter Lobatos has been the player of the game for Cheyenne Central without a doubt. Again, was kind of the anchor for this Indians team and for this win.
And then you also, too, you look at more numbers here. You look at Trent Walker for Casper Kelly Walsh, as we said during the broadcast. When they're throwing the football more than 17, 18 times a game, you know that they are having a hard time because, again, this team lives and dies by the run. I do believe we have Coach Mike Apodaca up here. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. We'll talk to the Indians head coach after this 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. On our post-game show, we get Cheyenne Central head coach Mike Apodaca to join us. And, Coach, we talked earlier down on the field when the winds were whipping around. It stayed consistent all during the night. You opted to take the opening kickoff with the wind in your face as you marched down on your initial drive. But the good news was in the fourth quarter, you had the wind behind you. And that seemed to be the big difference, especially when Teagan hit that 40-yard field goal. That was huge. We watched him earlier. He was hitting one from 60 with the wind behind him. But it seemed like that fourth quarter, you guys were not going to be denied.
We do. I mean, coming out of it, it was strategic. Sometimes those strategies don't work, but we figured we wanted them to be thrown into the wind late, and we with it. And so it worked, and it did help to get that second score differential with Teagan's field goal, for sure.
We felt that it was going to be a little different outcome, but I would think you're coming up here, and you know it too, Coach, in all situations where you play for homecoming. Again, everybody's amped up for that. The weather conditions kind of wreak havoc. I was talking about Dawson having an off night, 12 of 20. He shoots 60%, right, but he's having an off night. It was just one of those things where this could have been an ambush game, but your team stayed focused and rallied.
I agree, Larry. That's how I look at it at the end, man. Wins are wins, and this group hasn't been around where they got a little target on their back, at least where you've won 3 in a row, and I think that, and rightfully so, I think most teams are still trying to figure us out, and so for our kids to come down here on homecoming travel, and as much as you talk about it, they're kids, and looming with what's going on next week, all that kind of stuff. I thought they handled the adversity really well, especially I tell the kids all the time, man, if we're going to run this system, we practice in the wind all the time. So we tried to not let them get in. And honestly, I thought we ran the ball well, especially early, and kind of opened things up. So I thought it was a good, complete team effort. That's a really good team, and kind of we talked about it earlier in the week that you see it on film. They're getting better and better. They got very good athletes, and so I'm proud of our kids.
Your kids got a little banged up as well too. We saw a couple of them kind of hobble off, but we saw them come back on the field too, and one of them was Brady Storbo that got dinged up a little bit, but he came back out there. And also, too, adding the Storbo twins in the backfield or when they're lined up at the tight end position, and your Haas is up front. Carter Labatos, you gave him the ball, and he was a workhorse tonight. Unofficially, I have him 21 rushes, 115 yards. You got to be very happy with that, Coach.
Love it. I think, again, sometimes we get a perception that we just want to throw the rock around. The reality is we want to be balanced, and I think our run game was there, so we took it, and I thought when we needed to throw, we threw well, especially with the conditions, and it was a good complete effort, and I think more importantly we didn't turn the ball over, and that's really important against a team that likes to use the clock and run game. So I'm really proud of us taking care of the ball, and then the defense at the end of the day hung in there when it needed to, and I thought we were opportunistic on a couple of turnovers that they had that we did something with it. So I thought the kids responded well.
Final thought, and last week we talked about Laramie being the over-the-hill rival. Of course, you were part of the Cheyenne East, Cheyenne Central rivalry for many years. What's really nice about this, in addition to good football that's going to be played next week, fingers crossed, between East and Central, and that will be at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. 2 very good football teams that are going to be on the field. And again, Coach, you have to be I know you're already looking ahead towards Cheyenne East, but you got to be amped up about this one. This has a lot of implications next week.
Larry, I think the most important thing is our kids. We are going to enjoy the heck out of this tonight because it's been a long time since this program's had 4 wins, and they don't come that easy. And I think the kids need to really understand that is to own that. And we'll get back, watch film, and then come Monday we're back in it, with the kids. And so it's nice. I think it's a relevant game, and it hasn't maybe been in a while for next week. And this community needs that good rivalry, and so we're excited. And it gives us another chance to go, test that next tier. It's obvious that 4 teams have kind of ran this conference for the last 10 years, and we get another shot at one of them and kind of find out where we're at.
And final thought, too, just real quick with Chad Goff's, he's got a great offensive unit. They're going to pose a lot of problems for you. We thought with the run tonight that you guys will be able to shut that down. But again, Coach McKelkey came out with a good game plan where they were getting some good runs off to the side. But hey, East can mix it up, both running and throwing the football, and they're a very dangerous team.
Yeah, they are. They're a really good offense. I haven't spent too much time watching them as we've been focused week to week, but we've seen enough of them, and that know that they're talented at the quarterback, running back, skilled positions, and I see a lot of similarities, and so I think it'll be a fun game. So looking forward to a good week of preparation.
Yeah, and you made a very good point. A game that has some relevance coming to the capital city. So hopefully Okie Blanchard Stadium, Okie Blanchard Sports Complex, that is, will be filled to the rafters and overflowing. And we hope the whole community comes out for a very good football game. Coach, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And again, the final score as the Central Indians win 30 28-21. They improved to 4-2 this season. Like Coach said, hey, 4 wins hasn't been done in a long time for the Central Indians program. Casper Kelly Walsh on the other side of the coin, they fall to 1-5. We'll be back. We'll get ready to wrap things up after this 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Casper, Wyoming, where again it is a final up here between Cheyenne Central and Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, Central gets the victory, 4th win in a row for the Indian squad as they win 38-21 against Casper Kelly Walsh. Looking at a few other finals across Class 4A here in the state of Wyoming, it is a final in Rock Springs where the Rock Springs Tigers have defeated Campbell County, the Camels, by a final of 28-7. As we mentioned earlier, again up in Sheridan for Cheyenne South as they were taking on the Sheridan Bronx run away handily in this contest. Unfortunately, 56-0 in favor of Sheridan. That is a final down in Laramie as well, where Cheyenne East gets the shutout as well. They defeat the Laramie Plainsmen 33-0. Again, East is 4-2, Cheyenne Central 4-2 as well here in 2019. And in the second quarter, again, due to a lengthy, at least lightning delay in Gillette, Wyoming, Natrona County does lead the Thunder Basin Bolts. Again, number 1 ranked Thunder Basin Bolts, undefeated Bolts team. Natrona County leads this squad 16-0, again, up there in Gillette.
You know, you look at the playoffs, 8 teams will qualify for the playoffs. And for the South High Fighting Bison, even though tonight they got beat up again by Sheridan, you know, their 3 remaining games, Laramie,
again, winnable.
Campbell County,
winnable.
And Central. And that out of the 3, that's going to be the toughest
That's going to be the toughest one. But for Cheyenne South, opportunities for them to win and also to kind of sneak in if they wanted to in the playoffs. Again, where you look at Laramie still with 1 win. Kelly Walsh has 1. Granted, they have the tiebreaker over Cheyenne South because that is their lone win against the Fighting Bison. But again, right now for Cheyenne South, at least have that availability. Again, also too, Campbell County has 1 win. Cheyenne South, as we saw last year, game that we had, South got that victory against them. Granted, they will have to go up to Gillette this time around to take on the Camels. But, again, wins are possible for Cheyenne South. It's there for them to taking, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know, so South fans, don't get your daubers down. You know, again, you still got, 3 or more opportunities. Again, we look at it from our stats here. We give a good shot in a couple of them. Central, I don't know. That one would be a little tough. And again, for the Indians, you know, you look at their situation where they face off with Cheyenne East. Their next 3 games are at home. I mean, they're in Cheyenne. They get East at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. They're home against Natrona, and then they wrap up against South. So, again, for the Indians, you got to like their schedule right now that they get to sleep in their bed for the next 3 weekends.
It's very favorable for the Central High Indians, and also, too, again, where we're talking now this plays into seeding for Central High. We know they're a playoff-bound team, but will they be able to host a first-round game? Will they have a high seeding, or will they have to go on the road? Again, this is the big question for these next 3 games, where, again, you take on 2 of at least the top 4 opponents, at least ranked opponents, that i.e. being Cheyenne East, who's number 4, Casper and Natrona right ahead of them after their win last week against Cheyenne East. Again, you take on back-to-back very tough opponents, and then wrap up the season with Cheyenne South again, as South has to come to a risky field. So, again, kind of the driver's seat, so to speak, for Central. Again, if they want to advance on it and do something special this season, you got to get 1 quality win against East or Natrona County.
And also, too, you look at whoever wins and loses next week. If you win, you're in 4th place, or you're in the top 4.
Yeah.
If you lose, you stay in 5th place because, again, you have distanced yourself from Rock Springs. And, again, you have Laramie, also Casper, Kelly Walsh. They've got 1 win. And then you got Southwood that has yet to win. So right now you'll be sitting comfortably in that 4 or 5 hole. So could we see another East Central matchup in the playoffs? Could be. Don't know.
Possibly.
And, again, there's still a lot of football to be played. But, again, good football we're seeing right now. And, again, with the Cheyenne East, even and you look at their 2 losses, Nick, they've lost by a total of 4 points.
Yeah, and again, those 2 losses have come against very good opponents, i.e. one being Trona County at Casper last week, and then at home at Cheyenne East against
by Thunder Basin,
an undefeated at this point in time Thunder Basin team.
And they lost by 1. So, again, the East High Thunderbirds have proven themselves to be one to contend with as well. Hey, I do want to say some thank yous again to our fine sponsors. We want to thank the CRMC Injury Prevention friends over at Cheyenne Regional Medical Center. We want to thank Kuzma Success Realty, Arrow Moving and Storage, B&B Appliance and TV, Baskin Robbins, Billy Adelman with the LCCC Flight Crew, the Breadbasket Bakery, Burns Insurance Company, Capital Lumber Company, Charles Schwab, Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, Chick-fil-A, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, First Education Federal Credit Union, Foot of the Rockies, Halliday Motors, High West Energy, Joed Produce, Key of Cheyenne, LCCC, and also First Tier Bank, as I'm starting to get a little tongue-tied here. Again,
it's been a long day.
It has. Long drive home, too. Anyway, we will be back on the air. Chris Bolton will rejoin us in the booth at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. We should be on the air with all of our pregame festivities next week around 5:20, 5:25. And, again, kickoff slated for 6 p.m. Also want to thank MHP, LLP, Lennox Auto Body, Little Philly, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Medicant Pharmacy, Meridian Trust, FCU, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Page and Zach Lane at Number One Properties, Pepsi is shine with our Pepsi scoreboard in favor of Central tonight, 38-21, Pete's Builders, Platte Valley Bank, Taco John's, the Gill Window Company, and by the Wyoming Department of Transportation. Again, thank you to our fine engineer back at the house. Again, this young man doing a great job for us. I want to thank Trowa Elbert-Armstrong for doing a wonderful job. To my broadcast partner who had to it's a battle. A lot of entities up here this evening.
It was figured out puzzle pieces, whether it was the at least stanchions here.
You pulled it off, dude. You pulled it off.
Thankfully, but at least we'll be back in friendly confines at the familiar Okie Blanchard Sports Complex coming up next Friday. So looking forward to that.
Thank you to my son, Nick Proietti. So we're going to wrap things up here from Harry Geldine Stadium on the campus of Casper Kelly Walsh High School. Final score once again: Cheyenne Central 38, Casper Kelly Walsh 21. The Indians improved to 4-2 this season. East Central, our next broadcast right here in 1480 KRAE. So until then, have a wonderful evening, great weekend, and goodbye from the Oil City.